Hello everyone! Welcome back to Vintage Story. We're going to continue going to the Devastation today, hopefully get this done before the weekend is here. I'm just posting one message here to YouTube. Just basically letting people know on YouTube that if they want to chat, I'm only paying attention to Twitch chat at the moment. Let's see. Please stop. Do not want to open that right now. That would be my email. Just don't. Close you. Let's change this real quick. Grab the Twitch stream link. Pull that and put that. Oh boy. I don't know. That's nope, that's still too much. I'll just say as OBS, and I will. There's a character limit, I guess. I'm gonna pin this message for YouTube chat. Should have done that last stream. My bad to all my YouTube people. Sorry about that. Hello, Sleepy. The potential band invader is here, although probably only for a bit because today's more devastation stuff. That's the plan, but not for a bit because I would like to try to. Whoa, where did my map go? Down here. Okay, that's fine. I would like to try to get some arrows crafted. It might mean some more mining. I don't think I have much left of the devastation. I have. I was gonna adjust my voice a little bit too. I think it sounds okay from what I was listening to recently, but I did want to adjust it slightly. Let me go. I know it sounds different because I'm looking away from my microphone, but let me go in here. I think there was filters. I meant to do this before I went live, but I'm going live a little earlier today. I think I need to change my noise gate, and I really hate messing with the noise gate because I don't really understand decibel-wise what this means. I think I need to bump this up by maybe 4 each. I'm hoping to cut out essentially keyboard noise. Nobody has ever told me that my keyboard is being picked up or is too loud. Same thing with clicks from the microphone and stuff, or from the mouse and stuff, but I do want to get that out of my stream. Hello, Loopy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There is no chat pop-up on my screen for the time being. I don't know if you were here on Wednesday when I was talking about all this, but for the time being, it's going to be just Twitch chat that I communicate with because the software that I use doesn't allow for moderation through its chat because it connects to both chats, and so I would have to alternate between dual chat and Twitch chat to do moderation. And the reason why I have kind of switched to just one chat is because I had a bot hop in here one day and I couldn't ban it. So I had to like go to Stream Manager and like change that, which is really dumb. So I've, for the time being, basically just like switch back to Twitch for the time being. I am still streaming on YouTube, but the YouTube is basically for people who just want to watch it, you know, kind of like a VOD. If they want to chat, come over here to Twitch. So I guess my lurkers on YouTube can lurk on YouTube. Though I will say Twitch is better quality. So that is something to keep in mind. I need to make a trough. I ran all the way down here, didn't make the trough. Oy vey. How's everybody doing today? Oh, I guess you asked first. I'm doing well, Loopy. I am, I was watching Helia's stream earlier today. We had a really great conversation. Me, her chat, and her, them. Not her, them. Sorry. I'm really bad with remembering people's pronouns that they prefer. If I ever mess that up, I do apologize for other people. Or if I assume gender, you can correct me. Please do. I don't want to make people uncomfortable. Anyway, I was in their chat earlier today. It was really fun. And my YouTube video I posted like a few days ago, Monday, is doing pretty well. So that makes me happy. And I'm just doing overall well. So hope everybody else is too. Never noticed keyboard noise, but it's kind of thing you tune out automatically. That is true, Sleepy. Mostly for VOD purposes, though, I want to keep it out because, I mean, like, you could tune it out, but if you just don't hear it to begin with, it's also kind of nice. The curse of a mechanical keyboard, but I never want to give up my mechanical keyboard, so here we are. You know. Improve what I can, and the rest is what it is. But I like to try to improve the quality of everything as best I can, and it's still something I fine-tune a little bit. So I guess, you know, let me know if you guys hear any times when I'm, like, cutting out or something, if part of my words are getting cut off. It's something that I want to improve because the quality of my recordings in-game tends to be lower quality than when I do post-recording, and that's probably to be expected. I assume that just OBS can't record quite as nice quality as like a good video or audio editing software can, but that also feels not correct because I feel like that would be limited to your hardware and the settings within the software that's capturing your hardware, which means I should be able to improve it, I would think. Small trough should only attract chickens. And that is fine with me. Oh, I don't have snow, so I can't just jump over that. Not that I need to jump over it, but it was kind of fun to do. Loopy says, today I got back from a trip to Austria. It was cool. Did a lot of hiking, mountain climbing. That's awesome. I am pretty jealous of Europe for having such amazing landscapes. There are good mountains and stuff in America too, but I've always kind of envied that about Europe, as it feels like their landscapes are just a little bit more beautiful. America's got beautiful landscapes, but like, I don't know. I don't get to experience the landscapes much because it costs money. There's nothing near me. Around me, fields. Fields and city. Good old Midwestern state. We don't have much. Now, in Michigan, where I live, if you go further north, you can get into the beautiful part of the state, where we have large natural pine forests and great bodies of water and, like, small mountains. We have the Porcupine Mountains, which is bordering Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula, which is really cool. We got a lot of historical, like, lumber mill stuff and mining. We had iron and copper booms in the state in the early 1900s. There's a lot of really cool historical stuff. It's all so far away from me. I don't live anywhere near that. So Yeah, I would love to go experience that, but it's like, it is less expensive for me to go to a border state like Indiana or Ohio than it is for me to go to my own state and see that type of stuff. Not that there's not more history in the lower part of the state, but, you know, that involves dealing with busier city traffic, and we don't even have large cities. Detroit is the largest city, and it's not even that crazy. It's not like Chicago or anything like that. It's just the downtown that you'd have to worry about. But I do kind of avoid city life because we don't have any infrastructure here for like taxis and subways really. So everything is by car. And I think there's taxis in Detroit, but like it is not like other big cities. So it's just awkward. So most of the time people bring their own car, but then you have to worry about parking and all the traffic associated with that, and it's a hassle. But if you go to like Chicago, that's a city meant for people to not necessarily own a car, because where would they put all those cars? Michigan's in an awkward spot because we made cars, so we made cars, so we made infrastructure for everybody to own and buy a car, and that be convenient, and then car manufacturing kind of died, and now we're just in a really awkward spot where whoops, maybe shouldn't have built your entire economy around building cars. Now we're back to agriculture, farms and stuff. Especially cattle and crop farms. Maybe it was just a big bus trip, like 12-ish hours to go from flat fields to big hilly plains and mountains. 12 hours is a long time, and I could get to better terrain if I traveled that far too. But I kind of don't have the money or the like I don't have the means to do that at the moment. I'm pretty sure that I did this wrong. I'm pretty sure that my own car needs some repairs, so I can't afford a trip, though it would be nice. Yeah, I didn't have to worry about passports and stuff. The US's closest thing for that is the borders with Mexico and Canada, which Michigan is actually really close to the border of Canada in many ways. You can either travel by ferry or you can travel by car, depending on where you are. Like if you're in the Lower Peninsula and you want to go to Ontario, you can kind of just drive there. It's really not that far. So we have that freedom, but Ontario's not that much different than the rest of Michigan. I would love to go to, like, the Canadian wilderness. Put me in a log cabin in the middle of the dense forest, and I'll just pray that nothing bad happens to me, and I'll be happy. For a while. Okay, I need to check my food situation, because today we're going to be going back to the Devastation. The Devastation is going to require some food and exploration. And the food I brought back was getting kind of old, so I should really check on that, make sure I eat that up before it rots. There's only 3 days in there. Yeah, it should be 15 if it was fresh, so I should be eating this stuff. I'm gonna grab one pie at a time to try to reduce the spoil time on everything so it doesn't start to rot. Use it more efficiently. And then I will have to make more pie. Unfortunately, these vegetable pies, I'm pretty sure involve my cabbages, which I used all those. Rip. So we're gonna have to build other pies, which is fine. Probably do it out of, I guess, maybe we can combine rye and spelt. I don't have much rye right now. Oh, there we go. The only thing you kind of like disliked about Austria is that the dialect of German they speak there, and especially because it was near the Italian border, was not like understandable. That must be rough. I don't deal with a lot of heavy accents around here either. The closest thing we get in Michigan is that the Upper Peninsula will get some Canadian influence in their dialect. And they can be a little Canadian sounding, stereotypical Canadian. Not all, I'm not gonna mass judge Canadians, but like the stereotypical A that everybody laughs about with Canada, that happens in the Upper Peninsula. Not everybody, but it happens up there. The only thing is I can really understand is the numbers that the cashiers say. Yeah, that would be a bit rough. That is the one thing that also has kind of prevented me and my family from traveling. My parents have never wanted to go anywhere where English wasn't really like a predominantly spoken language, where they would have to struggle with like accents and stuff that just like, I wouldn't say makes them uncomfortable, but like, you know, it's just like there's the whole like logistics of trying to communicate with somebody like that. And when I was growing up, the technology of just play it in your phone and have it translate for you wasn't a thing. So then you had to have like guides and translators and stuff like that. Or go to a place that was, you know, a little bit more native English speaking, so that you wouldn't have to worry about that. Masked Bandit, hello. Welcome. Doing well. We're gonna be heading into, excuse me, God, that was a voice crack and a half. We're gonna be heading to the Devastation today, part 2. I did this on Monday, but we're not doing that yet. We gotta prep for it a little bit longer, but we're getting there. 19 hours, oof, that stuff's gonna rot on me. I'm gonna go lurk on the YouTube and play the stream on my TV because I slept like, well, less than 1 hour last night. Well, that makes sense, Loopy. Thanks for stopping by and just saying hi. Appreciate it. And yeah, YouTube stream is up. Or that's another reason why I like to YouTube stream, is it gives people the opportunity to do that with the TV. So rest well, Loopy. And hopefully I'll catch you next time, some other time when you're around. Pop on the chat sometimes. I'll also sleep with that in 15 minutes. That's fair. Yeah, the currently, just so you know, if you haven't seen or heard, YouTube chat, I'm not really paying attention to at the moment because the software that I was using before that was allowing me to monitor both of them live doesn't allow me to moderate both or even one of them. It just shows it to me, and so there's a lot of like setup and stuff involved with that, and it's just really annoying. If you have like a bot channel that visits you on Twitch, you just can't ban them or time them out with commands. It's really awkward. So until my situation improves more in such way that I can afford paying a subscription for Stream Elements, or unless I can figure something else out, for the time being, it will be focused on Twitch for chat, and YouTube can just kind of chill and watch the stream. And that's where the VODs will be posted to. I access Twitch on my TV. Never done it. Never done YouTube on it though. Interesting. I've only ever done the opposite. I've never watched Twitch on my TV. I couldn't even tell you what that experience is like. Though I don't watch Twitch a lot myself, which is weird as a streamer saying I don't watch anything on the platform that I'm currently streaming on, but I don't know. I used to back in college all the time, and that makes me sound incredibly old, but when I was in college, there would be days where I would, you know, be studying or doing some sort of assignment or whatever, and I'd throw on a streamer in the background and kind of lurk. Sometimes I'd chat, and I got really into it for like a good year, but then I just realized that like I spent more time watching the streamer than I actually did lurking. And so, yeah, I kind of had to stop doing that. And I ended up, like, I didn't switch back to YouTube either. I just kind of closed YouTube and never opened it when I was doing my assignments. The best I could do would be to throw on like an audiobook, a podcast, or like a movie, because a movie or TV show you don't necessarily have to pay attention to that much. You can just kind of listen to what they're saying and kind of understand that. But with like a game, you want to see like when the streamer says, how do I get over there, and then their camera moves off, you're like, I missed it. At least like that's how my brain works, is I want to help people, because I would especially watch streams where it'd be games that I've played before. So like I'm always trying to like encourage them and help them with stuff if they ask for it. Not to backseat, but like if they ask a question like, I don't know how to get there, does anyone know how to get there? I'll chime in and be like, yeah, blah 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 blah. Whereas if I'm watching a game I've never seen before, I feel like I lurk a lot more, just because it's like I can't help you anyway, so any questions you ask about it, I'm not gonna know the answer to. Unless I'm watching a streamer that's also particularly skilled too. That's a newer thing I've gotten into, is there are some streamers who are just masters at their craft, and so you kind of just watch them and maybe lurk for them because 90% of their stream is just them being good at it, and you're like, yeah, I've seen you do that before. But when you want to watch a particularly engaging stream, that's a little bit different for me anyway. I might have to char the pies that I have, the vegetable pies, because they're going to spoil. There's no way I get through all this like I want to. Let's just do 3 each. When I was in college, PCs weren't really a thing. They were just starting to be seen. Yeah. I'm not quite of that era, but that is fair. I always shock myself, like, whenever I make comments to say, like, wow, I sound old. That is not a slight towards anybody. That is me in the moment realizing that I am definitely not as young as I used to be. And it's super weird because I feel like my life hasn't really changed much since I graduated high school. College was neat and all, but like, there really not really that many things happened for me. So I was not a partier. I paid for my tuition completely out of pocket. I worked part-time and paid off all of my student debt and everything immediately so that I wouldn't have to struggle with that. And so, yeah, for me, it was mostly working. I went to class and then immediately left because I had work starting in a few hours or an hour or whatever. Had to get home and change into my uniform so that I would be ready for my retail job. So I didn't like live in a dorm and have the life of, you know, roommates and that type of stuff. I lived with my parents and worked a part-time job for 6 years. Hell yeah, welcome back. It's gotta... You said you were tired earlier. I really wasn't expecting you to stop by, but thank you for stopping by. I know it's late for you. I have to. Well, I will certainly try to entice Miss Gracie over here so that she can say hi to her adoring fans, but she is currently having a bath in the chair behind me, so I don't want to disturb her, but I might anyway. I always find it weird. You hop in, not all the time, but like when you hop in, if I'm having a conversation that's very American, where I'm like, yeah, when I went to college, I had to pay for all my tuition and I worked all this time. I'm like, that must be a very American thing. Not that everywhere in Europe has free college, because I'm pretty sure there are places that don't, but like it's more commonly accepted to have relatively low tuition or free tuition, from my understanding. And then over here in America, it's like, have you not given away every single cent you've earned? Did your friends and family not give you a ton of money when you graduated high school to afford this? Well, time to start your work right now. Half the reason why I was able to afford my first tuition was because I got like money from my open house from high school, and I just mostly saved it aside from buying my first PC, and that was with me working all summer. I'm very privileged to have had family members be able to help me out in that way, and also my first job was working for my uncle in construction. And so he paid me well, because trades pay well. He paid me well for the work I was doing, and that definitely helped with my tuition. So very thankful for that. My cat is sleeping on my lap, so I can't even go to bed. I'm an adorable fan. I mean, adoring fan. A very American thing. I think I mentioned that I had to pay around $200 for one semester, and it came out with free public transport. God, I only wish. Not free, but included. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah, for me, it was, my first year was not living on campus, having to drive every day, going to my classes and whatnot, was $3,000 per semester, I believe it was, and that was going to a community college where those are less prestigious than universities. Universities being a collection of colleges, at least here in America. So a university would have a college of, you know, whatever, communication or journalism or business. There's a lot of that type of stuff. But, yeah. My university, on the other hand, after transferring to avoid having to deal with the requirement of living on campus and paying for room and board on campus in a dorm, which was an even bigger expense, just the classes for 3 classes at my community college was $3,000. For 3 classes at my university was $13,000. And that's not even the most prestigious types of universities in America. Those are like, I don't know, that sounds pretty average to me, maybe a little bit above average. Of which I had scholarships that I applied for so that other people could help pay for some of my tuition. And I would be like sometimes required to go to banquets and stuff where I would meet the person who was giving me a scholarship so that they could make sure that their money was going to a person who was gonna basically benefit society and all this stuff. And I'm not against that. I actually quite liked the people that I met at my scholarship banquet. They were very nice. And, you know, they were doing it because, you know, I think mine was a memorial scholarship. So, like, you know, somebody close to them, I don't think it was their son or anything, but somebody close to them passed away, so they started a fund for it, and I ended up getting some of that fund. And so, like, when I met them and talked to them, you know, they were really cool, and I explained what I wanted to do, and it was a good experience, and I would have just gone to that anyway, but, you know, I would have just liked to have done that and not felt like it was required for me to go. I would have just liked to have done that and have it be like, yeah, you should go meet these people. We're gonna have a dinner on us that you don't have to pay for, where you can meet them, because I probably would have done it. But for me, it was with threat of, otherwise we'll take your scholarship away. I'm like, well, I can't afford you without that, so guess I'm doing it. Financial threats are amazing. We love them. Land of the Fee, baby. Yeah, looking at a summer classes, taking 2 would have cost 5.5K. Yeah. And those are summer classes, which are more, like, they're more difficult because of the speed at which you have to do that. So, because at least, I'm assuming this is universal across at least America, that they classes are done in like 3 months instead of like 4 months, so you have a slightly stronger workload you have to deal with and less time to do it. So that's always a thing too. College is rough. It should be a good experience where you go and you learn and you're trying to strengthen your knowledge, but it can be rough. I remember one of my assignments was for a web design class, and I had to build a website, and I wasn't very good at building websites. And like, I didn't have to do much. It was our class was building a website all year, so every lesson was adding more things, but that particular lesson ended up getting into JavaScript. And anytime you deal with programming, you can run into an issue of semicolon being in the wrong location and your entire thing not working. And I got stuck on something. I had to contact my professor like 3 times that day. And that one assignment took me 12 hours. So I literally watched the entire Hunger Games trilogy on my computer while working. I just had it up on my main monitor and I had it up on this other monitor, and I was like, all right, we're gonna just play movies. I would eat dinner at my desk watching the movie. Like, yeah, college can be a lot sometimes. It's almost as if people want to keep other people from learning things. Sometimes it feels that way. It feels that way, but really what it is that there's profit to be made. So when there's profit to be made, they figure out that fine line that they can. And look, I am not anti-capitalist. I am not like, hey, nobody should ever make profit. It's fine. I don't think any really form of economics is the best. But things have gone quite wild. Because pure capitalism wouldn't allow for the government to subsidize businesses, they would just fail. But that's not what we do. And because subsidies exist and all this other stuff, yeah. Portions eaten 2. 4 and 6. Okay, well that's fine, I guess. But because that type of stuff exists, there's now monetary incentives for, you know, doing things in government, and, yeah, that is not pure capitalism. Did I make hen boxes? I did not. I left my boards up here, and I have run up and down my stairs like 3 times because I'm talking and not thinking. Where did I put my boards? I didn't use all of them, and now I have lost the rest of them. I had them. I must have put them down in my smithing area. I don't remember. Is it, what's the recipe? Is it this? Yes, okay. It's been a fair minute since I've made hen boxes, and I only have 1 hen anyway. So I don't need much at the moment. I'll make more boards when that time comes, but for now, boards are not important. Did I cook all my food? I think I did. Right? Man, I've been talking so long, I went on autopilot and I just like... my brain is gone. Dog boy! Still get no notifications, but didn't get here too late. Odd. You're missing out on the fun Twitch notification of Night Wraith is, what is my notification? Hold on. Night Wraith 86 is going to die in Vintage Story. That is my current Twitch notification for people. Hey, there's Henboxes. What's up? And, eat good. Ready to lay. Aha. So then, I guess, Henboxes are required for them to even eat more than a couple portions? Maybe? Good. They're gonna go there. I'll make them a better chicken coop and stuff later. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And, oh, I did not want to pin this right now. Trying to click on OBS and I ended up pinning something. Just unpin. Unpin message. Thank you. I wanted to especially say thanks to Masked Bandit, who I don't think it's your first time being here, but it has been a while, so thanks for stopping by. Again. And hopping in here and chatting. My chair is uncomfortable. Because we have so many people here right now, which is cool. Usually my streams take a minute to warm up. It might be time for Gracie. I can pause for a second, give people cat time. Though, she's looking pretty relaxed, so we'll see. We'll move behind me. So, right about there. Gracie. Thank you, thank you. She's a very good kitty. In fact, she's been so good. Oh, I want to keep being in view. This. Mess up my entire setup. I'm blocking my cat. Come on. Lower the arm. There we go. That's better. Just for a second. How many treats should she get? She is being good, so she deserves treats. All of them? All of them, you say? More than 5. I stand by that. All right. Well, you know, so I have no. Oh, here she comes. I guess I can fix my microphone again. I do that real quick. She's out of her chair. She is ready. All right. That's better. I added a pillow because I've been sitting in this chair for like the past 3 days constantly, basically. And now that's just my face. I want to get her up here though. And then I'll readjust my camera so you don't just see my chin. Though I can at least fix my camera for a second. Maybe. There we go. AC. More than 5 and all of them. I'll pick in between. She's getting quite a lot. She's got a small pile, of which I'm guarding until I can get her on camera. change this again real quick. Just make that a little larger. Nice front and center. And then we'll just bring these into a spot that she can be seen. Move the camera. There. Don't knock them off the desk. There's quite a few there. There's like 20 plus maybe 30. Between 5 and all of them narrows it down. She shouldn't have this many treats, but she's being cute, and it is for the stream because the streamers have requested that she has treats. Might be able to get her to eat one out of my hand. Though she doesn't really chew them, she kind of just vacuums them up. One. She sees the pile and is like, I know where the rest are. One. Doesn't really like to eat out of my hand. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. She's very gentle. My cat is jealous. Yeah. I would love to make her do tricks, but unfortunately I spoil her too much. She hasn't really had to do tricks for treats before, so she just doesn't anymore. Alright. How about we do this? We try to hide them. And then she's gonna eat that one. I don't have... I'll hide them like this. Make her pick a finger, maybe. She's licking that one. Licking that one. She's smelling around. She sees the pile, though. See, she's like, I don't care about those two. The rest of the pile's over here. You can have those. You have the even smaller bits, too. What do we do? How do we make you do things? At least I can show her cute face. I can do that much. After you eat all those, last ones will make you go into the camera for. How about that? That's your trick, is turning your body to the right so that people can see your face and not just your whiskers. Easy. One. This. Right there. Get it. Oh, like you mean it. There you go. You chewed it in half. That. Kind of gross. It's a great trick, making her turn and face the camera. She didn't even entirely turn. She's so gentle, she won't even try to bite it. One more. Can we get a pretty face? Yeah. There you go. Look at you. Good girl. And now she's done. No more treats, no more me. Now she is on her window. Over there, taking a bath. Okay, back to the game. As much fun as it is to watch my cat, I know that she's actually the main star. I feel like it's time to actually play the game. My cat doesn't do tricks, but she does yell for treats. Hey, she's singing. Singing is a talent. Oh, right, the game. I forgot. Yeah, I kind of did too. For a second there, I was too busy loving on my cat. All right, people. Well, I still don't really have any feathers, which means the arrows I made are not going to be useful. So that means we are going to probably just take a risky play. I'll move this microphone out of the way now into a better position. We're just going to take the risky play and, I guess, just go for it. I still have a bunch of items on me that I don't think I'm gonna need. Game, wait, this is not Gracie 24/7. I have a camera that shows my cat's window hammock, and their trick is to bop each other. Love it, love it. Is it Dis of the Forest? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. You're just watching my Arctic Survival. That's my most popular video on YouTube. Welcome, welcome. This is the no map. I did bring a stack of feathers. You're right. Hell yeah, it's on Souffle. You're right. This is my no map challenge, exclusive to my streaming. I do not have this recorded really in any way, but you know, to be fair, that's because I would have over 475 hours of recording time to go through. So yeah, this world is my first world actually going through the story. And where the heck is my elk? Souffle, get your butt over here. So yeah, this is my first time going through the story, and I'm doing it with no map. Look at that. Hell yeah, a genius. I wish I had anything in terms of stuff to give, but I am not an affiliate, and therefore I don't have cool, awesome things like currency or emotes or money. But, yeah. But yes, welcome. So yes, this world is my first time trying to complete the story. And it is with the no map, which is my first time ever doing that. I've gotten pretty used to it, but I still mess up from time to time. So, yeah, so I've had to move my base. This is year 7 of this world. I've had to move my base, to this new location over by the village, which you may or may not know depending on how far you are in the game, if you play at all or if you just watch or whatnot. But yeah, so I've moved my base. I've had to rebuild some things. I don't quite have everything the way I would like it, but it's getting there. I had steel production at my other base, and I had 3 Helvhammers. I'm down to 1 Helvhammer and 1 windmill, but 1.22 did add the large windmill, of which I am interested in building, so I brought some flax twine. I did bring some feathers. I've got some extra temporal gears for the devastation, which is story stuff, in which we will lose Sleepy, because Sleepy, who's in this chat, does not want to have that spoiled for them. And that is 100% fair. But we're not quite there yet. But yes, so that's what's going on. That's basically what's been happening in this world, is lots of me fumbling around and figuring this out. This was not my first world, but this was the first world I decided to do anything crazy on. I gotta find my iron arrowheads, which are probably downstairs. See, this is why I never go to sleep, to remind you of your inventory. I am quite smart. That is true, hell yeah. I probably would have noticed after I rode Souffle all the way down there that I had feathers on my elk. Where are my arrows? I can't keep track of anything. It's such a mess. Oh, there they are. It's such a mess because I want to organize this a little bit more, but after I do story stuff, so I'm kind of waiting. 27 iron arrows. That is definitely not enough to do what I want to do, but it is something that may or may not help. I don't even know if I'm going to need them. I don't need like half of these blocks that I have on me. Affiliate will come. I don't doubt it. Well, I appreciate your optimism for sure. I hope it happens because I like streaming. I like talking to people and just, you know, talking about life. This is not just a place to play games, Vintage Story currently, but I will be playing other games from time to time. Subnautica 2 will happen next Thursday. I don't usually stream on Thursdays, but that is basically a holiday to me because Subnautica is one of my favorite games. Hello, Gracie, once again. Hi. No, you don't get to have more treats. I forgot to put these away. You just had like 30 of them on stream. I'm gonna catnap you. Once again. Yeah, so I like to stream, but I mostly like to just hang out with a community of chill people, you know? I play survival games. Vintage Story is a great survival game. I love Subnautica. Subnautica 2 is coming out, so I'll be streaming some of that. Trying to beat what I can of this world before that comes out. So I have, like, today and 2 more streams to do that. But, you know, I may play some other games from time to time. It might be single-player games, fun games. I like... Thanks, Cat. I like challenge in my games. So, as you saw with the Arctic Challenge, and I also have a Desert Challenge, I have an Ocean Challenge I'm currently working on, I've done Night, I've done Sky. They've all been Vintage Story, but I've done some Subnautica challenges too. And I'm planning on doing more. It might even be something like, you know, Elden Ring, but I can only move backwards or something. I don't know. Depends on how much I want to play that. And whatever. I'm not that amazing at Elden Ring. Although I did beat the entire game with a bow, which is harder than you think. So. Cat, hello. Your tail is beautiful. I need you to move your beautiful butt. Very tidy home. Most people I watch are messy. In Vintage Story, yeah, it took some work. Took some work to get to this point. It's not even that amazing, that beautiful. I have random bits of things. You know, I actually do want to keep this here now that I think about it. I have random bits of things everywhere because it's a bit messy with me just having a bunch of blocks to help me make things. Like, I have a bunch of basalt stones because I'm planning on making everything out of basalt. But I'm full on the stone in the crate, and so I need to use it, but that is going to be base building, which is not progressing the story, which is my main focus right now. So, yeah, I've got some extra stuff here. I don't think I need much for building blocks. I don't need the grass. Where's my map? Map to devastation. Spear, bone, flute. Yeah, ladder's fine. Arrows, bow. Random 1 stick. Food is going to be essential. If I was truly prepared and prepped and tidy and organized, I'd have like a spare clay vessel that I could take with me. I left one at the Lazaret, but I figured, oh, I'll just make another one when I need it, and now I haven't made another one. I guess I could take the beehive vessel with me. That would allow me to bring some extra food. I don't know how much food I'm gonna need, though. That's probably more than enough. Alright, people, let's do it. Steel armor is on souffle. Bow, arrows, iron spears. I left a bunch of the stuff that I needed, like bandages and stuff, at the tiny little base that I have. Maybe a few more building blocks before I go. Because I need to make landmarks, otherwise I'm gonna lose my way. Let's do that. And what am I doing? And then this, perfect. Okay, 30 blocks should be enough to do what I gotta do. I gotta keep up with chat. Like a tiny base too. I think they're right there. In theory, like a tiny base, in reality, there are tools leaning on every wall and stuff all over. I love ground storage. This is one of my favorite things about Vintage Story. That scythe is there because I would normally store it with all my other tools, which is downstairs in the back of my house, but I was getting grass and cattails from here. Don't doubt it either. I think its beginning's kind of rough until it picks up. Yeah, for the affiliate, I really hope I can get to affiliate. I just need the concurrent viewership, so I'm not gonna ask people to spend their time here and watch all the time, you know? That people do it, and they do it if they can make it, and if they can't, they can't. I understand, and people rotate. The only thing that's kind of stopped me from reaching affiliate, I think, is because I stream often enough that I get an audience. Where the heck did he go? He's wandering off again. I get an audience that lasts for a little while, and then they rotate off to something else, you know? Maybe they watch me for 3 weeks or a month, and then they just kind of end up moving to somewhere else. They don't want to watch Vintage Story anymore, whatever the case is, you know? And that's absolutely fair. Or maybe they're watching another friend or doing a stream themselves, whatever the case is. You know, and that's fine. Like, for example, for the last few weeks, we've had a person here named Cat in a Box, or Cat in a Boxin. Very fun name, and she's been great to hang out with, but she hasn't been here in, like, 4 days. So I hope everything's okay. But sometimes people just disappear. I used to have one person who was in here every day, and she was, like, watching my stream and was sending me cat pictures on Discord. It was fun. And then, like, one day she just, like, unfollowed and blocked me on everything, and I didn't do anything. The last interaction I had with her was that I messed up one voxel on my very first steel ingot that I was crafting and smithing, and I said, I'm not dealing with that, and I threw it away and grabbed a new one from Creative so that I could have a proper steel tool. And she was like, what'd she say? She said, oh, something like, not I didn't like that, but said something like, I'm actually upset, and then the day after I got blocked. It was very weird, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I'm not gonna judge people. I have no animosity towards her at all. It's just like, that happened, and I don't know why it happened. So, it's very weird, but that's the only thing that's stopping me from reaching affiliate status and having the fun things like the pop-up notifications when people follow, which I should check because there's people here. My Twitch activity feed is not actually doing anything right now. It's just black. Why? I'm assuming people are following, so thank you. If you have not yet followed, then I appreciate when you do. I'm apparently not getting a notification on it, but you know, people come and go, and it's the Gracie, no. Hey, down. Are you stuck? You shouldn't be stuck. Bad. No. No. She's destroying my screen. She, like, stretches and climbs up it and then gets caught in it and doesn't learn that. That's not good for the screen, but it already had holes in it before, so what's new, I guess. Anyway, that's the thing that's holding me back is concurrent viewers. So, anybody that stays here and is here long enough for me to achieve that, I appreciate. But if you can't, you can't. And if you don't, you don't. Life happens. I still appreciate you stopping by and having the conversation with me anyway. Because the chatting is the fun part. Personally like Vintage Story because I can have as much stuff on display as I want to, or not to. and then yeah, Helia and a bunch of other people have other time zone things. I get a strong population of people from like Europe, which is a little surprising considering when I stream. Most my average stream, and for a while there, it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time, which is pretty late for my European friends. And then recently I started moving Wednesday up because I had stuff to do Wednesday evening anyway. So it's a little bit more friendly for everybody. I remember what she said now. She said she was high-key disappointed when I messed up the steel. That's what it was. I was like, okay. And then there were no more conversations after that, so very weird. I don't know what happened. Forgot the torch? I don't think so. The torches weren't really useful. Wednesday is my favorite because I can watch more of the stream. Getting screwed over for a misclick sucks. Using creative for that is so harmless. What? I am of that opinion as well. It was my first steal. I had waited like 4 game days for that. Because it's maybe longer. Maybe it's 5 game days for that. I waited so long. I went and got all the materials. It was my first ever cementation furnace. I got the pulverizer. I got that set up. I got the mechanical power to support it. I crushed everything I could. You know, like I did all this crazy stuff. First cementation furnace, figured out how all that worked, got the stone coffin, got the borax and everything I needed for that, you know, went out of my way for it, got my first steel ingot, and was making, I think, maybe it wasn't my first, because I usually make the pickaxe first. I seem to remember I was making either an axe or a shovel. It was my first set of steel tools, because I had 16 brand new steel ingots that I was working, and I misclicked and destroyed 1 voxel that was required. There's a wolf here. Please don't eat me. I destroyed 1 voxel that was required for its construction and somehow couldn't fix that. So I guess I only had 1 spare voxel left and accidentally clicked to break one of the required ones instead of whatever. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. And I was like, nope. I'm not going to wait another couple weeks to get more steel just to get 1 replacement ingot for this. I didn't use all of it, but like I earned that steel ingot, dang it. Anytime there's a smithing misclick, I go into creative mode and I'm like, no, you shouldn't ruin your entire thing because I know you can melt it back down. I know you can smith it back using, I think, a bloomery. You can get steel back into steel bit. Well, you can break it with a chisel, and then I think you take steel bits in a bloomery, and you can get a steel ingot back that way, or at least blister steel. But you need the cementation furnace to even make steel in the first place. I don't actually know, but I know that it's a real hassle. I'm like, in real life, if I was a blacksmith and I messed up a shovel by breaking off a corner of it that didn't need to be broken and that made the tool like a little harder to use, I'd keep that shovel. Because if it's between using my hands or using a shovel with a bad corner, I'm using a shovel with a bad corner. But yeah, it was very, very weird. Ah, come on. Up. Up, Souffle. Why are you swimming? There's a block right there. Thank you. Torch was for the tiny house. Oh, I think there was a torch holder. Yeah, I made a torch holder and a torch. That's right. I'll save it for my real house. Let's use creative. Difficulty with knowing what I needed for a windmill used. Yeah, oh yeah, I use creative mode all the time to, like, figure out mechanics. I didn't sit there and make a windmill in survival mode my first time. I watched a YouTube video and then used creative mode to test it, and then in survival mode still had to fix problems because I didn't do it quite right. Up, Souffle. Get out of this lake. Oh my god. Yeah, I use creative all the time for that type of stuff. It was using creative in an otherwise perfect survival world, minus a couple other cases, to fix a thing where the result of the punishment of failing was just way too harsh. Like, okay, I missed one voxel, now I don't have an axe or a shovel or whatever I was making. Like, what? One voxel and I don't have a whole tool after waiting weeks? And then the other time I used it was creative. I've only used creative 2 times where I would say is like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have. One was in the first story location. I died to the boss, and because this world has drop inventory, I dropped all of my full iron tools because I didn't know what the boss was going to be like, and people were bragging about how you can do it with bronze. And so I was like, oh, I've got iron. And I went in there a little overconfident and learned quite soon that don't be overconfident, because I failed that boss, and that was after bringing a bunch of healing and a bunch of other things. Like, I wasn't not prepared, I just wasn't as prepared as I should have been. Mostly my armor. Oh, hang on a minute. Fishing bait. Give. Not that I'm going to be growing fennel anytime soon, because none of the lakes near me actually work, but now I don't have to search for that. Yay, thanks, 1.22. So I did go into creative so that I could go inside the boss arena and pick up my iron gear. Like my pickaxe and shovels and stuff like that, because I was like, I just gotten iron when I was doing the archives. So that was yet again another thing of, I'm gonna have to go remake everything, or I can just go pick it up, keep it, and now I know better about this boss, and I went in way more prepared the next time. The fact that there's no way to, like, get your gear in that arena really sucks, and I didn't want it to despawn on me. So, yeah, it was kind of that issue. The second time was on my way from the Lazaret to the village, where I'm currently living at now. I died in the middle of the wilderness, and dropped all my stuff and respawned back at the Lazaret and had no way of knowing where the heck I died at. So I went into creative and flew around until I found Souffle in my body and recovered my body, and then continued my journey and used a temporal gear when I got to my location. Again, probably shouldn't have done that if I was trying to be completely vanilla, but I was like moving base stuff over, so I really didn't want to lose things like, you know, windmill sails and clay vessels and whatever else I was carrying at the time. Like, big things that took a long time to get, you know. That was the only other time I've done that. Everything else has been fine. And, like, I'm personally of the opinion that with, like, the smithing mistake, for example, because I agree that being able to fix dumb mistakes is something that a game should do, and that's what makes it fun. But the thing about it was that the, I personally feel like smithing should be a lot like how it is in Smithing Plus, where when you are working an item, extra voxels get turned into bits that you can then reheat, and you can repair stuff by using those bits. I would have had no problem reheating the voxels for my steel, and like placing them on my tool and repairing my mistake. It's just the fact that I lost the entire steel ingot, and I'm like, that shouldn't be a thing. That I have to turn it into bits and then somehow warm that back up, turn it back into an ingot, and reforge everything. I was like, no, I don't know about that. I'm not feeling that. I really like Smithing Plus, but for all of my challenges, I play vanilla, at least to start. I'll do some challenges with some mods. The only ones so far that has had mods have been the dark one, because you need the thing to make it dark all the time, and then the sky one, because again, you need the mod to make it Sky Islands. And the mod author themselves had recommended use of other mods to go with it, because he wasn't confident in how good his mod was. So I was like, look, if the mod author says you should use some mods with this because I can't guarantee the game will actually be playable, I was like, okay, sure. So that's why I did that for the Sky Island one. Sometimes you gotta cheat to keep having a little bit of fun. Nothing wrong with about that. Yeah, anybody else who says otherwise would be a bit of an elitist. I also feel like Sleepy might be gone now because we're getting to the story location now. But yes, I agree. I like to give myself nails after a lot of smithing jobs based on how much scrap metal I would have had, especially because my GF mentions that's just how it went, Ira. I mean, like, that's true. That is really true, honestly. Smithing in, like, realistic smithing, metal is really hard to come by often, and it was a luxury. So, it's like, you wouldn't waste anything. You would take that bit of metal and try to make something out of it, whether that's like a pommel stone for a hilt, or, you know, nails, or horseshoes, or whatever you've got, you know. Something that you don't need, like, a really crazy, like, you don't need a lot of material. Horseshoes actually need a fair amount of material, but, you know, whatever the case is, you're gonna use all of the metal all the time. I hope they basically just integrate Smithing Plus into this game. I'm not a big fan of, what's the other one? Toolsmith. I mean, I don't hate it, but Toolsmith, at least when I played it on the servers with my friends, and they're the ones that did all the stuff, so I, you know, maybe some of that was because of the settings they had, but when I played it, a copper pickaxe had 2,000 durability. And I was just like, guys, this is 10 times the durability of a copper pickaxe in base game. And you can sharpen it, and you can repair it, and you can increase it further by making good handles for your tools. I was like, I respect the fact that this mod is doing a, like, cool thing by letting you do all that extra stuff, but 2,000 durability for a copper pickaxe is wild. Bye-bye, Sleepy. Hopefully next week, well, first of all, the latter half of the week will be Subnautica, but hopefully I finish doing what I want to do today, and you won't have to worry about spoilers so much. Thanks for stopping by. Somewhere around here is my shelter, which is going to be really hard to see because it's nighttime, but thankfully it is June, so that doesn't really matter too much at the moment, as long as I'm not in the devastation yet, which I'm not. Hello, random shiver. Thank you. I know I'm not going towards the devastation. I just am trying to realign my character. I know I'm about 1,000 blocks away, but I think I'm off a bit this way. So this should be a little bit more accurate. All the yapping earlier made you tired. I should be there soon, but I completely understand if you can't make it and want to get some sleep. It was quite a busy stream. We spent a good, like, 30 minutes just talking instead of actually streaming. Which, hey, fair. I would do the exact same thing. Hey, is that a trader? That's not my... That's a tree. That's not my base. So that's a trader. I don't think that's my base. No, that's not my base. It's definitely a trader. I love that traders have these little outposts. They had them before, but they're way more common now. I don't know if this is the default, but they're awesome now. Hello, random guy. Mind if I just sleep here? Also, they're warm. These outposts are great because you don't have to worry about the temp. Slowly making this game just a little bit easier. But hey, maybe they can add a mechanic where the trader... Ooh, 54% spoiled. Whoops. Yummy. We like half-rotten vegetable pie. Maybe they can have a mechanic that they add to the game where traders will be like, hey, I'll let you stay here for, like, a day. And then you gotta go. There's my thing. So there's a trader not far from my spot. Cool. I didn't even talk to him. What kind of trader is he? Hello. Once again. What's your name? Treasure hunter. Right. Well, you're not getting my recurve bow. But that's cool. There's a bit more alteration between these outposts and the wagons. That's true, but at the very least, we actually have some variety now. We actually have the wagons and the outposts, and not just only wagons 90% of the time. Setting up shop right outside the devastation. Hey, he's got people to loot when they don't make it back. He is a businessman. Look at all my temporal gears. I don't know where my last one is used at, but I know I haven't... Ooh, that's a good question, actually. The part of me that says play it safe says use another one, but I'm almost certain that I used one here last, so I'm not going to. And if something happens, that's where I might cheat just a little bit. Because I don't want to have to run back here on foot, and I'll lose the maps. I can't lose these notes. That is the worst part about not having a map, is that you can actually lose the thing that guides you to the next location. So let's not do that. What's in here? Seeds? I'm gonna move this inside. Let's grab these 2 charred vegetable pies, and we'll start with this. Need more food, I'll need more food, but for now, we're starting with this. That's still plenty of food, because those are made with cabbage in mind, so good. We've got normal healing poultices, we've got double the Falx blades, I've got 2 extra spears. Just gonna block that off. Oh boy, is there anything else in here? My steel armor. Not gonna go without steel armor, that's for sure. Ah, my bear in the walls. I heard a bear and freaked out. I forgot about my neighbor. Also, should probably put my steel armor in, or cloth armor in one of these things. And we'll take a temporal gear because I brought a couple with me. We're gonna take one and use one at the tower. Shield at the ready. Alright, let's get in here. Let's get to this mess. What about the letters? I have the letters on me. I want them on me because I need one to get me to the tower, and I need the other one to get me out. I don't necessarily need it, but it makes life so much easier. And if I lose them, well, I'll get a map to Devastation. I don't know about the map to the village. If really that happens where I don't have a map to the village and can't figure out how to recover one, then I will cheat one in, because the only place that I know of to get a map to the village is in the Lazaret off of a skeleton, and I'm not even sure that respawns. I'm pretty sure the tower is this way, but I don't like getting lost in here. I want to get to the tower and actually start progressing this. I'm bringing 2 pies because I'm almost certain that I'm not going to survive. And once I get through this tower, I'll bring more food for an actual, like, fight encounter. And these are 2 very good pies. Rice flour with cabbage predominantly as the base ingredient. So, like, 1/4 fills up, like, 1,200 nutrition. Yeah, see, I've already gone past the location. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? No, Botorn. Bad. This way. That's why I'm bringing the map, so that I know exactly where to go. Running around with tier 3 and 4 enemies biting at your ankles is not fun. There you are. Now I can do time shift. I'm very curious how time shift's gonna work if I have to fight the boss thing here, because, well, time shift, you're, like, completely safe so far, from my experience. I think it's this. No, wait, I did this room. One more. This room, I think I got stuck on. Yes. Alright, so I see that there's a, like, a spot that I need to go up here, basically. There's a ladder and everything. My problem at the time was, how the heck do I manage that? I think. But now I very clearly, because it hasn't been multiple hours of me streaming, and I'm going into this somewhat fresh, I'm pretty sure I gotta climb this thing somehow. How do I get to there? That's the real question. Mad Crow, please don't. Please be Happy Crow. Why is it always Mad Crow? Why is it never Happy Crow? How do I... And, like, I'm so scared I'm just gonna fall to my death. How do I... Oh. Nope. Oh, boy. Up. Alright, to there, maybe? Okay. Oh, oh, I can't. Okay, there we go. Woo. Okay, next one. Elevator got desynced in multiplayer. That sounds awful. Oh no. This is looking like a jump. I almost guarantee that's what this is. Yeah. Oh, I hate you so much, game. Okay, let's look at the path. Please no. So I'm assuming I can just climb outside and come back up over there. This is where I'm afraid I'm gonna fall and get smushed. And I lose all my stuff. So I'm gonna use a gear. I should probably have some sort of healing on me. Glad we had our gliders for this. Yeah, I didn't even remember that gliders existed in this for a really long time. I got mine and was like, this is neat, and then, like, never used it again. Oh, well. So that's another thing. I often change to check, like, how close I need to be, and then mess that up. Hey, there's a chest here. Do I store things in here? Should I? No, we're not gonna worry about that. That's the only thing I don't like about this, other than... I really can't say that I love the fact that they expect you to jump in a world where you can just die and lose everything, but... what I can say is that, the thing that I really wish is this stuff was not so far apart. That's what I'm trying to say. I lost my train of thought there for a second, so now I know that sentence didn't make sense, but, like, this, I can't, like, inch out and be like, oh, let me change time here, because then you'll just die. I wish that this wasn't, like, a valid spot to stand in the other worlds, too. Especially because I'm wearing armor now. Let's try this one thing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this jump. That looks pretty far to me, so I'm going into creative to just do the jump. And see if, like, I can make this in my steel armor. Because, again, I don't know if they want me to be armored or not. Nothing's really attacking me, but armor makes me move really slow. So... like, I can only move that fast. So, like, that is the issue that I have with this, is I don't know if I'm supposed to do that or not. If they have that in mind, that you're wearing full plate armor this whole time. Also, can't get up this. Okay. Hi! Please don't. What was that prompt? I didn't even get a chance to read it. Okay, maybe I have to go this way instead. Up here. Oh boy. Please don't fall. Okay. Well. Holy Jonas parts. I will come back for loot. I'm just as scared that I'll shed my armor and then a tier 3 Botorn will zoom in and frickin' scope me and kill me in one shot. Because I'll be unarmored. There's a table here. I could make pies. Although you can't alter the past except for stealing. That's perfectly fine. Alright, so it looks like I need to get on top of this thing. And then... get on the crate and then maybe jump up in the other world. Maybe the crate's floating, so... how one do that? Shelves over there would be here. We've got this whole thing. We've got the chest and then this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that right there. That sounded like an attack. Don't want to get hit by that. Over here? Boathorn. Somewhere. Getting me from somewhere. I don't know where he's shooting from. Must be above. Ah! No. I think the Boathorn fell. Do I go outside? Don't get me. There's this whole thing, but I don't trust having to climb that. That doesn't seem right. Ow. Thank you, game. Thank you, steel armor. Okay, so this is not... There's no way I have to climb that. And I can't switch and check because I'll fall, so I have to go back here. Yeah. Uh-huh. The shelves doesn't help me get up unless it's in the other world. What's the deal with this thing? It's still perfectly fine. Climb the shelves, I guess. If I can. I can't. That looks like you should be able to, though. Like, in my mind, I feel like the shelves is what I'm looking at. But then there's the boxes and the other things you can climb. And there's the big thing outside that looks like maybe you should, but I definitely think you shouldn't, because that wouldn't be fair for a player, but they've done unfair things before. Yeah, really, I'm not... So what the problem I'm seeing now is I don't see what I'm supposed to jump to or on in this world. Where am I being shot at? From above, maybe? I came from over here, did I not? There's no way you climb that. I think I came from that side. And part of me wants to say it's outside around this stuff, but I can't actually check without switching the world, and that will make me fall. There's no way it's this. Definitely not down. Getting hungry. Gotta eat. That does like half, okay. It's charred now, so it does a little less. Oh boy. I need to get on this. Do I just... I can't jump on that. Like, if I could get up a block, then I would just jump and switch worlds, and I think I could land on that thing, but I don't see an up. Everything I see is blocked. There's this. Like, that was T, not Y. Like, doing... W key, and then that didn't help. I smacked my head on that. I feel like it might be an outside thing, but then, like, there's too many things inside that feel like they should help in some way. But I can't make that because I'm fat. But if I'm not fat, I might die. And I also don't think I can make that even when not wearing my armor. So... what is the trick? What is the intended path? And then what is the me path? Like, what will I end up taking? Hello? It almost looks like I'm supposed to climb this, but I can't really jump off of this. I'll hit my head. It definitely seems like an up. This jump does not seem to be intended. And I don't think there's anything over here that helps me get up anymore. No. So, that is the question. There are lots of these little boxes. Oh, don't fall. Can't get up here. Could probably jump to that. Bonk. Okay, guess not. That feels almost intended to me, too. Nope. Bonk. Hit my head on a shelf or something. Hilarious timing. Yeah, you were thinking the same thing that I started doing. I read the message after I was there. I was like, oh, you probably did this. See, I would love to check to see where I am, because the thing's right there, but like, if I switch time while I'm outside, I'll just fall and die. So it like, can't be a time switch, because the wall doesn't go out that far in this world. There's nothing really to climb in here, except for, like, the chest, and then switching time, which is there. So I guess jump from the chest to that, and switch time, maybe? It's kind of a risky play, but... Well, maybe. Maybe that works. I just didn't get the angle right. It's also very awkward to do this. Almost. No. I think I gotta jump more on a... angle, like, to this block. Ah, that feels right to me. That's not that far of a jump. There we go. Alright, and then from there, platform to here, I think. There we go. And then crate, maybe I just go under the, there is a ruined staircase. Nope, I switched time while falling, because I didn't get the jump, so now I gotta redo that. Nope, timer wasn't ready, I guess. Nope. This jumping is so precise. Give me a little bit of grace. Ah. There's no grace window. You have to do this perfectly. Come on. I didn't even move that time. No. Eat the pie. I'm gonna take the armor off. It's risky, but I'm gonna do it. What if I take off, like, 2 pieces? That's a little bit better. Now, well, not if you hit your head on your way out. Touch this thing. There we go. And then jump again. Just jump and move forward. I bonked my head again. So I don't think I needed to do that. Dang. Come on. I don't like the delay in the timer that much. That's a thing that kind of bothers me, because Oh. It feels like you're kind of just punishing people for not being perfect. Okay, there we go. Finally. But that's okay. I wasn't terrible. That was better than the other one where you get to jump the gap. Temporal gear, okay, for people who didn't make those jumps, I guess. Like, I probably was about to. Okay. Uh-huh. Oh, I don't like this. Spear. Bow. How do I do this? I need alcohol-soaked bandage. Can I just, like, place them out? How do I... There is a way to do this. In inventory? Yeah, I think you have to do that. Oh boy! It's time to suffer. Come here, you. Ow. Come here, you. My game lagged for a second there. That wasn't helpful. I can see where a bow would be very nice if I had like 100 arrows, but I have 27, so I'm gonna wait. He just missed. Okay, this is gonna be a long fight. If he never lands. I'm like expecting him to land, but he doesn't want to. He missed with every single one of those. Can I do anything to make him want to land? He's gonna dive bomb me. I can't fall. Whoa, jeez. I was not paying attention. Hello. Back help open. What did that say? Oh, I did a ton of damage. I might have crit on one of my things. You ain't moving me. This ain't that bad so far. We're gonna stay in the middle so I can't get knocked off. He's definitely coming for me. Tank it. Block help open? I don't think that's supposed to be there. Tank it. Tank it. Be the tank. Eat my steel armor. Like, I feel like it's just better to tank that damage because he does knock you back a bit, and I don't know if I'll be near an edge when he tries to do that. And did he miss? I think he kind of missed. Pick up. Eat food. I'll bandage when I next take some damage. Not that, but like real damage. I think we're fine. You missed again. Probably don't need my spear right now. I'll use the bow if I really want to do range stuff. Pick up. Can't. Strange force is keeping it tightly in place. Could it be big bird thing? Will you land? Tank it, tank it, tank it. What the? Inventory? Hello? Did I just open the inventory? Hey, no. You know what? This is gonna be overkill on the heal, but... Oh, wait, hold on. You're gonna do it again? Maybe? No, you're shooting at me, that's fine. Big bandage, go! Okay. Feeling better about that. Another dive bomb. base hit a few times. Get a couple crits in there, that's nice. Oh, it's getting to be nighttime now. I can barely see anything. Hello. Don't do that. I partial blocked. That's okay. We can tank the damage, it's fine. Steel armor, go really, really ham right now. I think I smacked it. Can I place this? No. I'm not trying to destroy, I'm trying to see. Game's like, you can't do anything. We're okay. I actually can't see. There we go. It's so dark on my screen. I think I hit. Land! Land! All you're gonna do are drive-bys, then I'm gonna have to just hit you with the bow for a minute anyway. I lost track of it. Where are you? Oh, I think it's coming in for a landing. As long as I'm in the middle, I should be fine. Did you miss? It's so dark. I put the lantern in my offhand, but I'm not sure if I'm able to, like, block things. So, like, I know I can block the arrow shots. So I'm, like, kind of trying to do that, but I kind of want to see, too. And I don't know why we can't place things on the floor. I'm gonna put the shield down for a second. Ooh, I picked up a feather. Picking up some of these. I don't know if they're any good right now. She went high. Yep. Goodbye. Yeah, here. You missed. I will steal these. Good damage. Sorry, dog boy, got you with the symbols. The bot doesn't like the symbols. I think it's coming down for another swoop. Maybe. Oh, hi. Aw, one more hit. I was too busy trying to heal. I shouldn't have. I should have just... I'm fine. Yeah, I figured that would happen. Next. I missed. Come on. It's like 1 or 2 hits. Missed all those. I'm like scared to move because it might hit me in a weird spot. But this floor is mostly solid. Hey, I hit it. I think it's dead. The health bar went away. Do I get loot from that? Because it's gone. Oh, hello. It looks throwable. These are all spears, basically. Okay. Well then. That was not so bad. I thought that'd be way more damaging than it was, but I am in steel plate, so I sure hope it's not. The lens. Okay, I took the lens. Is there anything else? Please tell me if there's anything else so that I don't go all the way back and then am told, you didn't grab the thing. Am I missing anything critically important? Can I grab this lens? No. Okay. We don't think there's anything else. Well then, it's time for loot. Don't you think? All these really terrible spears that I've now collected. Rusty gears, temporal gear, diamond. We're taking that. And then, we don't have to jump. Rusty gear, Jonas part. I guess there's only one Jonas part. Excuse me. Ah. Nothing in the crates, nothing on the shelves. And we'll just have to check each floor on the way down. Make sure I'm not missing anything, because I'm a loot goblin. I do like the music in the tower. It's very quiet, but I do like it. Turn it up a bit, since this is the last time I'm probably going to hear it for a while. I really hope that story stuff kind of continues this vibe. This is really cool, and I love the time shift ability. I've liked that in any game that's had it. Good night, hell yeah, thanks for being here when I beat the thing. It was very fun. Sleepy, sleepy, sleep. Whew. That was fun. Alright, nothing in here, I don't think. I'm surprised they didn't make you try to pull more levers and things to, like, interact with the world a bit more. Happy time zone, happy looting. A lectern? Ruin stuff. Wish the loot was a little bit better, but that's okay. I got a bunch of junk spears that are just gonna be fun to throw around. Alright, I think I over-prepped a bit for this, maybe. The time shifting is really cool. The VOD should still be up. I did it on Monday. So if you want to go check it out, It was towards the end of my stream on Monday. Oh, hello, Botorn. Jeez. You're just right there. So you can go check that out. At some point. Whatever that is. We go this way now. It's only 2 in the morning and I can't see anything. It's on YouTube, or I think I streamed on Monday on YouTube. I've been having issues with YouTube recently, but I think Mondays is there. If it's not, it should be on Twitch for sure. Because I keep my VODs up on Twitch for, well, however, I think by whatever is default when you turn it on, so they are on. I think it's like a week or something. Couple weeks. Honestly don't know. Although I will say I did complain a little bit about the jumping stuff in the tower. I do remember like going like, this power is really cool, but like I don't think it's fair to ask the player to jump when they could lose everything if they mess it up. Like some of those jumps, they just expect you to be perfect, and I'm like, don't like that. But I hopefully didn't complain too much. I didn't really try to complain. They were just, I was more or less just trying to share my observations. But the power is really cool. I love the time jump power. Kind of get rewarded in the next location because of the less loot here. I was sort of wondering about that, so I guess that makes sense. It's cool to know. Good to know. I have to find my a base thingy. Okay, we're out of the scary music, so we can get back to normal, regular scheduled Vintage Story soundtrack. The time shift thing, maybe I would have been more excited about it if it was like kind of new. It's new in this game, but I think there's one game that's done it a little bit better, and that is Titanfall 2. If you're into shooters at all, that is the best shooter. It's a campaign. You don't have to do any PvP. The game goes on sale for like $5 because it's old and not really that popular these days, but fantastic game that has that mechanic, and there's a particular level that you do it in, and it's just like probably the best level in the entire game. But that whole game is worth playing. If you haven't played it, you should. I can't recommend it enough. One of the best games I've ever played, and I don't really care for shooters. But Titanfall is the one shooter that I got into where I was like, this is how I want all shooters to be. Every game needs to strive to be this. It was very well balanced for PvP if you cared about PvP. And if you didn't, it just had a really fun campaign. Somewhat heart-wrenching at points too. Not like super heart-wrenching, but like kind of cool. Like they put some emotion into it. I had a great time with that. So, Cat, you're here. I was talking about you earlier. I was like, I hope everything's fine. I haven't seen Cat in several days. You missed me beating the tower. I beat the devastation. I literally just beat it. I'm on my way out right now. And you also missed a couple Gracie interactions, but, you know, that's besides the point. Not that Gracie's not important, but I'm happy you're here. Your timing just could have been maybe a little bit better, unless that was intentional. I don't know. Oh, I got, like, a bunch of temporal gears I want. Bring. What'd I drop? I got a bunch of these extra spear things that are probably bad. And I got a bed on me that goes back on Souffle. Hey, buddy, you take the bed. And then I take these gears. And then we go. Well, I can also put gears on his belt, because I got one. Or emergencies, but we're going to put shift attach. Shift attach. I think that's everything. We can grab one of these things and go, I guess. Now we get to go talk to the old man in a cave. Take this, it's dangerous to go alone. Actually, it's the other way around. It's dangerous to go alone, take this. Super busy this week, just woke up from a nap. Well, I hope all is well. Busy weeks happen. But I'm glad you could make it at least a bit. Welcome, welcome. Missed the other conversations before cat because I got too excited. Wasn't a fan of jumping, especially hand tremors have poor dexterity, but I went in creative about it, and that's okay for me. Oh yeah, you saw I went into creative for a couple of the jumps. I was like, I'm not dying and losing literally everything because of one jump. Like, I'm not doing that. I didn't put my iron tools away either. I realized I have my iron tools on me, and I did that whole tower with them. Oh well, not that it matters. The boss was easier than I expected, considering how much damage the first one did to me, but I was also wearing this tailored gambeson at the time, which surprised me, but steel plate, heck yeah, best armor in the game. So I really appreciate that I can face tank a boss in steel plate. Like, that's kind of how I like to play games like this. If you're gonna have a kind of clunky system, simple bosses, let me be a little overpowered. Let me be the tank that just, you know, eats these big swooping attacks because I'm in plate armor. I love the way that plate armor feels in this game. It is very like, you're slow, you're clunky, but you can just eat anything. It's like, yes, yes. Except for some pretty awful deep creatures. Bellhead shivers and two-headed drifters really hurt, even in steel plate armor. They still do like 4 or 5 pieces of your health bar at once. And they attack quickly. But I thankfully only run into those in heavy temporal storms. Yes, and Titanfall is a very, very good game. So, if you want a good shooting game campaign, which I know is a weird thing to say these days, but, you know, I grew up in a time when shooters weren't multiplayer driven, they were story driven, and I miss them so much. God, I miss the days of good shooters. I mean, I'll be a little bit biased. My favorite shooters were old, like, World War II shooter games, like Medal of Honor Frontline and Medal of Honor Rising Sun are very, very good games, to me anyway. But they're definitely an American skewed video game. You play as a soldier in the US Army during World War II, with Frontline taking place on the European offense of D-Day and all those other things, and Rising Sun taking place in the Pacific Ocean. The very first mission of Frontline is D-Day, and the very first mission of Rising Sun is being kamikaze bombed on your battleship and fighting off Japanese fighter pilots. Very, 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 very fun. But, like, also, I can totally understand for people who aren't American that being a bit weird to just see that, but also, I imagine that's American media is fairly common across the world, so it's probably not the weirdest thing to see something from an American perspective. But God, I loved those games growing up. I wish there was PC versions of them. But anyway, I grew up playing those games, which had fantastic campaigns, amazing games. And Titanfall 2 is the only game that I've played that's a shooter in like 2 decades that has actually been good with a campaign. Like, Black Ops 1 was okay, Call of Duty World at War was okay. Like, those are pretty good for Call of Duty standards. I think Modern Warfare 1 was okay. I never played Modern Warfare 2 or 3, but my kind of general understanding is those games are revered for their multiplayer, not so much for their campaigns. Halo, campaign-wise, I just played through all of the Halos except for 5, and it was my first time playing through all the campaigns in completion. Halo, like, 1 and Reach are kind of the best campaigns. 2 is alright, and 3, I hate to say this, it'd be controversial, yawn. Halo 3 campaign was really boring to me. But Halo 3 was big because of its multiplayer. Again, less about the campaign, more about the multiplayer. I don't like shooters, I'm super story motivated, so I might try Titanfall. Yeah, Titanfall 2, specifically, Titanfall 2, because Titanfall 1 does not have really... It has a story, but it's all ingrained with the multiplayer. Like, there's like a special mode of multiplayer that will, like, try to have you do co-op team missions. But the only way to do it is online, and Titanfall 1 is dead. It has, like, 50 people globally that play. So, like, don't. I wish it was popular, because I remember when that came out on Xbox, I was in love with it and played the hell out of it. Titanfall 2, though, has a standalone campaign and also a multiplayer, which the multiplayer is still fairly active, but small numbers. We're talking probably 5,000 people play it. We're not high amounts of players, maybe 5,000, maybe more like 2,000. Very fun multiplayer, but the story is where it's at for that game. You get so Titanfall, you get the Titan, the big armored mech suit that Titanfall is known for. The campaign takes place with you playing as a guy named Cooper, I believe. And Cooper is not a pilot. Pilots are the soldiers that can actually use the Titans, the Titan chassis. But he gets put in a situation where he ends up commandeering a Titanfall chassis from, like, a guy who falls in battle. And even though he's not a pilot, shows that he can handle being a pilot, and then gets promoted to a pilot, and then does some really cool stuff. And the chassis that you get, BT-7274, is a very fun robot. He has good robot humor. Like, one of my favorite dialogue lines that he says in the game is, like, you as Cooper can say something to him like, oh, I think somebody's in love, because he's talking about a gun and, like, how well the gun shoots or whatever, because you can upgrade him through the campaign. And he'll be like, humans express love as this, and this. Conclusion, I am 50% in love. And then that's the end of the conversation. I love robot humor like that. That stuff just makes me laugh every time I hear it. I love the complete logical deciphering and calculation that robots have, and then saying something kind of like off-hinged like that. Very fun. Reminds me of the start of a Gundam series I watched. My partners can't remember which series. One of the first two. Interesting. Yeah, BT is one of the best written robots that I've seen in a more modern game. I'd say modern game, but Titanfall 2 came out in 2016, so it's a decade old, which is crazy to me. But, yeah, BT is great. I love his humor. The overall plot, like the story of the game, is not maybe the best, But like the moments with BT are written really well because he's a robot that you grow to care for. Like you just kind of get attached to him as a player. And then the like missions are just very fun. The reason why Titanfall came up is because the ability for Devastation is very similar to one of the missions in Titanfall 2. Again, I should clarify, Titanfall 2. When most people say Titanfall, a lot of times they're referring to 2 and not 1 because 2 was way bigger than 1. But yeah, one of the abilities is very, very, very close to what just happened at Devastation. And then there's a lot of other fun abilities in that game. Titanfall 1 and 2 are the games that kind of pioneered the whole, like, wall-running modern shooter thing that they tried to do with one of the Call of Duties, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, one of those that didn't do well, but Titanfall does it well, so that's the main difference there. Titanfall's actually good. But yeah, it's a very good game and goes on sale on Steam. It used to be an EA exclusive thing because Respawn got bought by EA, but it's on Steam now on sale regularly for like $5. So if you're in the mood for a shooter, you want to fire some guns, the campaign for Titanfall 2 is like I don't know, 6 hours, maybe 4 hours. It's not long. Shooter campaigns rarely are long, which is probably why they don't make them anymore, because the multiplayer, excuse me, is what got most people hooked. My favorite thing about it is the fact that you get to, like, all of the abilities in the campaign that you get, all but, like, one of them are in the multiplayer, and I don't know why it's not in the multiplayer. It was in Titanfall 1, they took it out, and then they, like, re-added one of the two things they took out, and didn't add the other one. I don't know why, but the ability to customize BT, your Titan, any way that you want during the campaign. So as you start out, you'll have one type of way to play him. There's like a chassis for your Titan that determines if they're slower or faster, but like more or less armored. There's guns and other abilities that the Titans get, like whether you want a shield that blocks fire, or if you want one of the abilities is called Vortex Shield, which allows you to grab bullets that are being shot at you and then launch them back at the opponent, which is really fun. There's like fire type of attacks and stuff like that, like a whole napalm class that you can have with your Titan. And you can customize him at any moment throughout the campaign, and you unlock the other abilities by either just playing the campaign and the game will just give it to you over time, or beating some of the bosses of the campaign. Like you'll fight, like there's one model of Titan in the multiplayer called Scorch, and that's the napalm one. Has like gas canisters and a napalm launcher and all this thermite stuff. It's really cool. You battle a boss that has all of that, and then when you beat him, you get the Scorch stuff. So it's like, oh, cool. Like now you get to do that, and you can change on the fly in the middle of the mission if you want between that and any of your other powers. So that if you run into an encounter where you're like, man, it'd be really nice to have, like, napalm for melting the opponents that I'm facing, you can just switch. Which is something you can't do in the multiplayer. Though you can have loadouts for the multiplayer, so that's kind of the same thing. It's like when you die, you can just pick a different class or whatever and have that one instead. All right, so now that I've completed the Devastation, I have to put a bunch of things away and get rid of all this stuff that has like 3 durability. I just wanted to have these because they look kind of cool. I might put them on the wall or something. I don't know. Trophies. Do mannequins... They added mannequins. Do they only hold, like, clothing? Because I know there's armor stands that can hold, at least shields. I don't know if armor stands can hold weapons. But I kind of want to have a mannequin that is, holding one of these, like, spear things. They look kind of cool. Does anyone know... temporal gears are going to get a crate, finally, because I don't have space to keep putting them in my boxes. I have 3 iron spears, which I can use for hunting. I could probably fire this with a bow, plus 0% or plus 0 additional piercing damage. 100% chance to break. But it looks cool. Can't place them on the ground. Darn. Haven't made any mannequins yet. Yeah, neither have I. Well, we'll find out eventually, I guess. Well, that was nice to be able to beat that. I do want to continue the story. Like, since I'm on story mode, I want to talk to the guy I'm supposed to talk to. There's like a hermit in a cave or something that I'm supposed to go talk to. Non-armor apparel. I imagined that was the case for the mannequin because we already have armor stands. I'm not entirely sure why we have armor stands and mannequins. I feel like they should kind of just be one thing and you can put whatever you want on either one of them. What if I want to put the jester hat, which is a thing in this game? I don't know if it was before 1.22 because they added more clothing, but what if I want to put the jester hat on my full suit of plate armor, huh? That would be funny. Fennel. Only good for 16 more days. Probably longer if I put it in here. Oh, 79 days. Cool. Use that for fishing, although none of the lakes near me are actually fishable. I put my Falx blades away, iron spears away, bandages can kind of chill. They can go in here, I guess. Other pie, I don't need that. Because I've already got 2 pies. Shield needs to get put away. Hey, you gotta have some trophies for your achievements, right? So having the pile of rusty things in the corner means I went there. All of these are full. Alright, I got so many extra sticks. Let's do this. That's not how that works. I shouldn't need the maps for the time being, although I do have a new map. This one, no, that's Glider. Tobias's Cave. Devastation, and I guess I'll keep the crumpled letter. Tobias's Cave is nearby. I know that's not far. Assuming I bring this to him. I think it's only... Oh, it's 3,000 blocks? I thought it was a lot closer than that. Well, fine. As long as Tobias's Cave doesn't require steel armor, but as far as I know, he's supposed to be like a hermit living in a cave. So I'm gonna go to the village, talk to the ranger guy, Eugene or something. He's got a weird name. Not that that's a weird name, but he's got a non-common name. And then all this stuff, I'll just keep on me for now. Check my crops, but I'll do that later. I'm in story mode right now. Everything else can wait. I'm not dying anytime soon. Not this way. I'm a loot goblin, so I carry everything always. Even if it just means I have a corner of random junk chests. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. It's not a junk pile, it's a trophy to your accomplishment. Exactly. It's my dragon horde. Exactly. Look at my old berry bushes. I love them so much. I'm like trying to like the new berry bush system, but I really don't. Like, I don't know. I just don't eat berries. And I don't grow berries. I just kind of have them. For when I feel like, maybe I'll have my character eat a fruit pie. Maybe I'll do it out of, like, cherries, even though that's not efficient. I'll just do it because I want a cherry pie. Where is he? In here? Hello, Gerhardt, that's your name. Not Eugene, I wasn't even close. What's your name? What do you know? I'm looking for whoever wrote the letter. What did you want me to do again? 10 small hides, right. I don't have that. That's the writing of the hermit. We cannot read it. Why do you call him the hermit? He's a madman. Claims to be Saint Tobias. That's blasphemy. I cannot. He is a sorcerer of great power. I have ranged far and never found his home. Well, then why can I read the map? Probably because I'm a seraph. Alright, well, that guy has nothing to say. I went to the devastation. He told me I should go to the devastation before, right? Or no, this map did. If you're gonna meet me, you must make your way to the devastation. There's a tower there. You must climb it, take the lens. Not be easy. Okay, so he didn't tell me anything. It was the map. Away we go. Onward, souffle. Over the palisade wall. There we go. Okay, which way is Tobias? Not that way. Must be this way. Seemingly this way. Only 2,800 blocks this way. I really despise the new berry bushes. I'm kind of with you, Bandit. Kind of with you on that one. It's tattoo cruel. The old yields are kind of nuts. They are. I don't disagree with the fact that berry bushes could use a rework and that it's very easy to just yoink a bush wherever you want and place it wherever you want. Like, fine. My problem with it, though, is A, the nutrition. When most berries, like I get for certain other berries, like let's say strawberries. Strawberries are a plant that actually needs sunlight. They need to be watered pretty regularly. You know, they need to be kind of taken care of. Animals will go and eat them. You know, they're not like a bramble thing. Blackberries, raspberries, like those types of things that have like thorny brambles, they grow anywhere. They'll grow out of a sidewalk. Those always yield food. In fact, I think I have about 50 blackberry bushes outside my own house right now. Like, they just grow everywhere. are really good at doing their job. I kind of don't like that those start eating up all this nutrition, all this. Those blackberry bushes that I've had out by the side of my yard here have been around for over a decade. I've never once watered them. I've never once pruned them. I've never taken care of them. And they own half the yard. Like, those things should, like, if you're gonna rework berries, you should give them a little bit of realism. So blackberries are a berry bush that just doesn't really care. You can do whatever the heck you want to it, and all of a sudden, boom, you know, berry bush everywhere you want. They grow like weeds. In fact, somebody mentioned this on the subreddit, and I kind of agree. You should have to prune a blackberry bush if you want to actually get a good yield out of it, and if you want to, like, actually harvest it without taking damage. It should be able to yield a good amount of food and be viable in any soil and not worry about the nutrition, but require a little bit of maintenance just for ease of use for the player. You know, I would agree with that. And then, like, strawberries are a plant that need care, so they should have the nutrition stuff. They should also give you more saturation. They should be, like, a cranberry is 60, and I think a blueberry is 80. I'm pretty sure strawberries are also 80. No, make them better than the fruit trees. A pear is 100. Make a strawberry, like, 140 or something. I know that doesn't exactly make sense, because, strawberries aren't, like, incredibly nutritious and filling, but, like, the amount of work you have to put into a berry should yield that. Instead of, like, nutrition affecting the different berries, we have amount of berries you collect for taking care of them and making sure they're in a healthy state and making sure they're whatever. I never need more berries. I've never had a problem with the quantity of berries that I get. And it's not like the wild ones will always give you like 4 to 6, like the one they do currently. So, like, I've just never had a problem with the quantity of berries that I'm getting, but I would love for berries to have a stronger role in the food system, because some people just straight up ignore berries. They don't interact with that whole fruit part of their nutrition, because it just, why? It's not really worth it at some point. And I somewhat agree, although I find fruit trees really easy to deal with, so I just do that. But, you know. I like to give things at least an honest try before complaining too much, but I've done that now, so now I'm free to complain about the berry bushes. I don't like them. Yeah, I'm mostly there with you. Like, it just... I don't know. My biggest thing is, so I'm currently recording the Ocean Challenge. I've been putting in, like, tons of hours. Building Materials Trader, goodbye. I've been putting in a bunch of hours in the Ocean Challenge. And I have terrain stability on in the Ocean Challenge because it's fun. And I went to a mountain that I will dub Meatball Mountain because it looked like it was medium fertility soil, so in the distance it just looked like a meatball because it's all island based, so it was Meatball Island, I guess. And Meatball Island had like no fruit on it except for like 2 bushes, and there was a landslide, and they just broke down into the whatever plant fiber or whatever it gives now, plant cuttings. It didn't even drop like anything useful. You should get the little sapling cutting thing from the bushes if they break, not nothing, not plant waste or whatever the useless one is for compost. Like, I don't know, I guess I don't really like that system, because who is making compost with plant cuttings? I like, nobody's gonna do that. There's no point in breaking wild bushes and collecting that to get compost. There's no point in growing them to just break them for compost. There are way better ways to have compost. So, I don't know. It's very awkward. Wild red currant. And then they got like the modifiers, but the modifiers really don't do anything. The best modifier is the minus nutrient uptake, because I don't want to interact with that at all. And then plus 15% yield, don't really care, but it is more berries, I guess. But like, so out of all these bushes, the one I care about is this one. And so I would be expected to cut this once, because you can only get one a year. And then I'd have to wait 30 days, and that's 30 days on a 6-day month, because I've been doing that on my other world. 30 days for the thing to grow. Then 30 days or so for it to mature. And then it goes through the flowering and berry cycle of doing all that. Like, I'm sorry. That amount of time, I'm just going to use a fruit tree. Just give me pear trees. Like, I'll go scavenge for berries when I need food. You know what I've been doing in the ocean challenge? Fishing. Fishing's amazing. Fish give so much food now. You can catch 2 medium-sized fish, and you'll have 8 fish fillets. 1 hefty pot of fish, like stew or whatever, is 1,500 nutrition. It fills up your freaking health bar. So you go get, or your food bar. So you go get 4 medium fish, and you have 4 servings, a full crock worth of a full food bar. It's so good. Why would I ever interact with berries when I can just go fish immediately? There's enough lakes around in a normal world that I can just hop from lake to lake in the early game. And they do have to be big enough. They can't be something small like that, but it's a way better system. And the only thing you need to get a medium-sized fish, like you can either get small or medium. A medium-sized fish, you can use a worm for. You know what it takes to make a worm, a knife, and or to get a worm, a knife and 2 sticks. 1 stick to turn into the grunting stick. 1 stick to use on the grunting stick to actually make the little grunt that attracts the worms. Like, 2 sticks and a knife gets you a full thing of food. Oh, I guess you need to make the fishing rod too, which requires some rope, which is really not that bad. You just go get some vines. But like, minimal resources gets you a full thing of food, and all this harvest and trying for the berry bushes gets you a plant that you get because there's a stat that says you need it. I'm assuming I'm like on this thing. This mountain has to be the cave. Is it down here? It's like gotta be, right? 30, 27. Is this it? Do I go in? I can go in here. Hey, there's something here. Bro, I'm gonna freaking pickaxe your house. I don't have my pickaxe, actually. Oh, sir, how do I get in here? I forgot my pickaxe. I've been meaning to grab that, but I wasn't taking it to the devastation. Now I can check on chat, because I got here. And also fix my eyes and get a drink of water. I've been staring at my screen so intense that my eyes are drying out. My contacts don't like that. Ugh. Strawberries needing care. My strawberries took over an entire front bed. That's true too. Wild strawberries can just grow, but I mean, like, if you want to manage a strawberry plant, sometimes they need a little bit of love. I've had strawberries just grow out of nowhere too. You know for how excited I was for fishing, still haven't tried it yet. It's amazing. It's amazing, Bandit. You should really try it. It's a very fun mini game. It's very simple. It's not hard to make the fishing rod. There's the extra bait, but you don't have to. You can do worm grunting, and like, you can deplete the area of worms, but so the ocean challenge, I live near an island. So I just do the worm grunting wherever I am currently. And if I don't find worms, I move like 100 blocks away and I do more worm grunting. And eventually I get like 2 or 3 worms. You can even, if you catch a small fish, you can use the small fish as bait to try to catch a large fish. And a large fish gives you, I believe, 8 fish fillets when you slice it up. So like, it is like the best food in the game, kind of. Why would I go hunting for deer when they run away when I can put a fishing rod in a lake and get 2 to 8 fish fillets per fish I catch? And it only takes 4 to fully fill you up. I'm looking for water to get inside this. Am I? Is that what you're saying, dog boy? A small, like a small pond. I would have guessed water. I would have just pickaxed my way through his house. I love to have wild strawberries. When I was younger, parents moved to a place with blackberry bush. I love that, but sadly they moved because it attracted wasps. I don't even think it did. Yeah, blackberries are, as Kat said, the dandelion of berries. They really grow anywhere they want. And I'm assuming raspberries do too, because I'm pretty sure they're the same family, but I'll be the first to admit that my knowledge on plants is very lacking, because I pretty much don't care about taking care of plants. I like plants. I love that berries exist and that like food growing crops and stuff is great. I've never had a garden, although I should. I really should get a garden, because like my mom's big into flowers and flower beds and stuff. I don't care about flowers, but gardens, yes, because the yield out of it is food, and food makes me happy. Where flowers are kind of just pretty, and there's nothing wrong with that, but for me, I'd rather grow carrots and potatoes and squashes and zucchinis than grow a pink flower. That little hill was right. Yeah, I saw the vent, but like, I hope I don't have to dig, because I don't have a pickaxe. I also don't see a way, like, around. Yeah. Belongs to Tobias. Cool. Toby, let me in. Oh, is this tree blocking it or something? It looks kind of flat up there. I want to cut down this tree. Maybe I can see better. Or maybe it's on top of the hill and I have to let my way in there. And by hill, I mean giant freaking mountain. It doesn't appear to be blocking anything. We're gonna go up. I figured if it wasn't down here, I was just following the map, but now that that does nothing, I figured there must be something above it, maybe. If it's not there, then tactical explosions might be next. Oh my god, souffle! Don't die! Hey, we don't, yes, tree elk. Thank you. I can't wait to stream Subnautica next week. Not that I hate Vintage Story, but God, I'm so excited for Subnautica 2. Up. Up. Gentle up, Souffle, not mega up. I don't need you to, like, run. Just need to go up. Terrain stability. Okay, we are big up. Ooh, not down. Not down. No, no, no. Of course it's like dark and rainy and misty and everything too. Can it not be? Is it cold up here? It's 9? Oh, that's a bit cold, but you know what? We're camping. It doesn't matter. I've only lived 7 years in this game on top of mountains. My character should be hardy. That would be a cool thing. If they made a thing where your character adapted to the environments that you lived in. Like, let's say over the course of a couple of years, if you live in the same area, you just... Like, you live in the mountains almost all year round. Therefore, you have cold resistance. Yes. 100 times yes, give me that. But that would take a lot to, like, know where your character's been at all times and constantly keep checking that. And have that be accurate. My parents never let me grow things I wanted to here and there. Not allowed to get into the dirt. Stupid landlord rule. Ugh. Elks no 2-speed, strolling in Zoom. Exactly. So, like, I can go down, but, like, that doesn't look right to me. But what would I know? Ah! You're fine, Souffle. Don't whine. We're in this together. Ah. Is that normal? Like, the entrance to this man's cave is supposed to be this mess? Souffle? How are you gonna get out of there, buddy? I guess I get out of there and just bone flute you? God. Down. He's chilling. He's chilling. We're fine. Hey, I'm sorry, buddy. You just can't be right there. You gotta use your elk legs and get out of here. Act like your species has existed in the mountains for, like, more than 30 seconds. Please. Okay, there's glass, but I don't think this is the way in. Let me guess. I can't get in here. No. But I can place stuff. Can I place a block here? Yes. He is trying his best. I shouldn't be so upset at him. He's doing elk things. Alright, well, we know that there's a thing there. Also, my sound effects are, like, gone. I don't know why. But I, like, don't hear myself punching anything. Did the wizard cast silence on me? I'm not allowed to make sound? I have a setting enabled in the game for pick up resources when crouched only. Which is the way I prefer, because I don't like auto-collecting bundles of dirt or random sticks and stuff. Unless that's my intention. It's very nice to not have all this extra random stuff go into my inventory when I don't want it to. What happened to my audio? Something weird's happening with that. Like, it's just rain, no movement sounds. Like, I should be hearing things, and I don't. No bone flute? Hey, buddy, we're gonna just save and come back. Maybe that'll fix the audio. 478 hours. This world has, been going for a while. Breaking his land too much, he casts silence on me. Okay, I have my sound back. Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop. Why does he live in the thickest jungle? Not jungle, forest. Inside a mountain with, like, 0 entrances. I've already been around this thing like twice now. Come on. Game. I want to see. Thank you. Goodbye, tree. You have lost your tree privileges. Souffle, move. You have lost your tree privileges. I don't care what happens to my iron axe, because I have steel waiting for me at home. Much better. I like actually being able to see. He's a hermit, he's shy. Well, I'm important. You can't be shy for the important people. Nose is itchy. My man's gotta have a front door, unless he worms his way in there. Maybe I need to get a grunting stick. Grunt him out of his own little tiny window. Let me in, game. Like, the thing is, I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for. You said something about a pond and an entrance there. I don't see any ponds nearby. I'm on the other side of his cave. But I can't see anything because of all these darn trees everywhere. There is this pond, but that feels pretty far away from everything. And it's also not deep, so that's not it. Like, I just don't know if it's, like, a doorway that's really obscured right now because there's so many trees in the way, or if there's, like, this, maybe. Oh, wait. Maybe it's this. That looks not natural. Aha! I'm taking your... I can't take it, can I? Well, wait. Or... I'm taking this. You don't deserve a raft there, Mr. Wizard. This is mine. Even if I don't use it, because I don't have any reason to have one. He's got little runes all over. Okay, so we got a little, like, channel inside a mountain. Okay. Cool. I'm supposed to probably have taken that, but I'm gonna steal it, just to deprive him of it. I stole his ore. There, how do you like that? You don't have an ore anymore for the raft you left for me. What else can I take? What else don't you deserve to have because you're mean? Sacks. A washboard. He's got a cupboard. Nothing belongs to Tobias. Everything belongs to me. Ah, he's got the bismuth lantern, which looks kind of cool. Cooking. Carrot turnip stew with stewed red meat. Wow, that's his favorite meal, because literally everything is that. Except for this one, which is turnip carrot stew with cabbage. Well, that one's got scrambled eggs. Okay, he's got a few meals. Large barrel. Yeah, people were... I saw a mod where somebody added this large barrel thing. Pumpkin slices? Yo. Well, if he doesn't want visitors, then why does he have such a cool place? He's got a fireplace. Like, okay. I feel like half these story locations are one of the devs went in and just went nuts with chiseling. And then when they couldn't figure something out, they made a custom asset. So, like, that's why they have these really cool bookshelves that you can't have. But they just went in here and they're like, what if I did all this? And then they did. And then they're like, that'd be a cool story location. Because I know you can make some of this stuff, but you can't make all this stuff. Painting Seraph. That just looks like Alucard. Are we not Dracula? Are we vampires? Old man. Shh. Quiet. He doesn't know we're here. Ah, he definitely saw me. Oh, hello. I can't talk to him. Windowed iron door. He's a robot. He's a robot. Locked heavy door. Painting Dave! Mine. I want Dave. You can't really open anything in here. I just want to look, man. He's got a whole cauldron! Why don't we get a whole cauldron? Why don't we get tiny little cooking pots? And a ladder that goes nowhere. My guy. You just like... So I guess it goes to the shelves. I guess that's what it's supposed to be. Charlemagne the Bell. Oh, he's got a little wiggly tail. I kind of want a Charlemagne. Can I have Charlemagne? Oh, let's not hit Charlemagne. He's too cute for that. Hello, old man. I don't take visitors. Why do you think I lived in this waterlogged hole in the... God's bones? You're actually here. And you look different. I suppose some changes should be expected. Are you Saint Tobias, the one who sent all the messages? You don't remember me? Another unexpected consequence. Yo, you mean to tell me you know me? You left me in a freaking cave, probably. And then you're all like, you'll remember me. Bro, I don't remember 5 minutes ago. We were gaslighting freaking chefs on Monday. Or was it? No, it was Wednesday. See, that's how bad my memory is. How am I going to remember any of that? I should think so. We've been through hell together and came out on the other side, though some of us took longer than others. Yeah, I guess. Drop the saint part. It's just Tobias. We have much to discuss, but I first must know, have you brought the lens with you? I'm gonna tell them no. You didn't get my letter? Perhaps the villagers have forgotten about me after all these years. Never mind, listen. Wait a minute. Please don't tell me I locked myself out of it. I want to give you the lens. I'm just lying. I don't have to tell the truth. I was given free will. Listen, it's good you're here, but it's vitally important that we have the lens. Okay. If this new world is going to continue, I would retrieve it myself, but as you can see, there's simply no way I could manage the task. Sure you can. Charlemagne just goes ring-a-ding-ding, and like 72 Bowtorns shoot the giant freaking crow, and you win. Like, what do you mean? I'm sorry, friend, I don't wish to play Taskmaster again, but this must be done. Rest here for a time, take what supplies you need, then you must be on your way to the blasted lands and the tower that waits there. We can speak more after that. What was I supposed to be doing again? I love that question. Just, huh? What? Did the rot addle your mind as well? You must travel to the devastation, climb the tower there, retrieve the lens. Do this and I will see you are rewarded for your efforts. Here, another map in case you've lost it. Map to the devastation. Bleh. I don't need it. I can go ask for another one of those from the ranger guy, Gerhardt. Okay, I brought it. It's been over 5 centuries since I first saw him use this. I was young then. We both were. A mere farmhand and a lord's son in his father's library. Still a better love story than Twilight. I'm kidding, that's an old meme. I just kind of had to say something like that. By that point, he had already turned the room into his own workshop. Tobias looks back up. Sorry, the thoughts well up on their own from time to time. No thoughts. Head empty. All the time. It's the only way to play. Thank you, my friend. With this, the brief hope flickers for a time longer, though it always seems to come at a great cost. I'm sorry to have put you through that. Yeah, the jumping puzzle was worse than the boss. But as it was worth the sacrifice to bring you here in time, I will show you this prize was worth your efforts. I have some questions about everything I just went through. Yes. Okay. So, what was that Lazarus place? That was a truly cursed place. Jonas had begged me to travel there and hold on as I could. More than once, I wish I had denied him and taken my life at the onset. When the rot seeps in deep enough, even that option is lost to you. So I laid there in my torment amongst those too wealthy or too important to simply give the mercy they deserved. I'm sure you've seen the rot's procession. It slowly ate away my limbs. By the time I could scarcely see the dim candles or sunlight, the sunlight through the shaft, I knew it had finally reached my head. All I could do was wait for death. Perhaps I did indeed die. I cannot say for sure. I woke up to a terrible rumbling in the earth and found the rot scoured clean. What was gone remained gone, but I lived. Okay. What can you tell me about me? Strangely colored skin, taller than previously. If I recall correctly, lack of memory before return. Everything else seems as expected. You're the first I've seen. I wonder, will they all share such features? Or is this instance unique? I see. That told me nothing, and I can just be like, yes. What about my old life? It's been a very long time, and my memory isn't as reliable as it was once, but... Tailor! You were one of the artisans. A tailor, if I recall correctly. Perhaps it sounds superfluous. Superfluous! Wow, the tongue tripped over itself. Looking back on it, but craftsmen of all kinds were essential in those times. For functional purposes, of course, but also to retain what little humanity we held on to. A song in the deeps, a flash of color in the dark. These things kept us alive as much as the food in our stores. I didn't always look like this. Well, age tackles all of us differently. You were a normal human once. No offense. I'm not exactly normal myself these days either. Well, I mean, I'm just a blue dude with a mustache. I ain't that different. Look at me. I look fine. I got the farmer's hat, too. You're expecting others. I was delirious by the end, but I believe there are many from the underground who were lost but not perished. In recent years, I've heard tell of strange figures walking the lands. Seraphs, they call you. Ah. Without seeing one in person, I couldn't separate truth from fairy tale. There were stories of 12-foot giants, watery ghosts, and eyes made of lightning. Who knows how much of that is rampant rumor or vision addled by the storms. Then again, given what we've seen from you, perhaps we shouldn't rule it out. Bro, have you seen Dave? Everything's possible. Back in the tower, I slipped through time. That is simply unbelievable. And yet I can see you're not lying. Makes a strange kind of sense, though, if my theory holds true, and given your presence here, I believe it does. You and the others were lost beyond our world, perhaps your time, or lack thereof. Perhaps your time, or lack thereof, spent there has conditioned your body to more easily ignore that which holds the rest of us in place. This is fascinating news. I shall have to consider it at length. But if we can use this unusual ability to our advantage, it may be the key to our success. Yeah, can I, like, go back in time to before I died? And I, you know, just, like, can zip right back? You're quite well known. I should think so. I was there when it was founded. Uh-huh. They're kind people, or so I assume. I haven't visited since their grandparents' time. Well, what you waiting for? None of them remember you. You can just go trade and come back. And nobody cares about the arm. You were there when it was founded? Or, I see. I love the I see. That's just like such a cop-out answer. Like, I know it's to end the dialogue line. They always want to give you an out, but it's very funny to me that it's like, I haven't visited there since their grandfather's time. And they're like, and you're just like, yes. And then it's over. Like, nobody talks like that. You think it's bad now? You should have seen the world in those days. The storms were worse then, and nobody was prepared for the creatures within, let alone the ones peeling out of the rifts. Humanity seemed doomed to flicker and fade, another relic in the old world left behind. But we are nothing if not tenacious. In those days I was naught but a lonely worm. Lowly, not lonely. Lowly worm. Yeah, he really is a worm. Crawled loose from the lazaret, yet I found a group of stragglers who would aid me. In turn, I told them what I could of building, farming, metallurgy, the like. In time, we had formed a new home, small but well guarded. Like a village elder, they came to me for advice. In exchange, they gave me a place to heal and study the world in peace. Eventually, I decided they would survive just fine without me. I took to wandering, learning what I needed about the world and its new inhabitants. And then you just gave up and lived in a cave. I still keep in contact with a few souls, and Nadia, but after the devastation, I felt like it was best to keep my distance. I see. What was going on back there in the devastation? Ah, sorry about that. Like, oops. Yeah, that's a pretty big oops. Which didn't happen. But tearing a hole in the world is no simple feat. You tore a hole in the world? Well, yeah, what do you think happened? Indeed. Have you wondered why you awoke again after all this time? I awoke alone in that dreadful laser. Everyone was gone, the world had shifted. It took me many years to ascertain what happened. Jonas was no help at all. From what I understand, when our grand machine awoke, everything was changed. Those who were nearby were lost or worse. You and your fellows were lost beyond time, beyond this world. I needed your help, and so I poked a hole that you might leak back through eventually. A desperate gamble, but it paid off. Did it? Tobias gives a theatrical flourish. In short, you've been summoned by the great sorcerer. I don't think you should be flourishing. I don't think you should be like, I destroyed like a nice mile of territory. Ta-da! What was that tower? A lifelong project for most. My companions and I built it over many years. Alas, many of them did not live to see it pierce the firmament. But that ruin is proof of their mettle. We succeeded in our task, and doing so forever destroyed that dear tower and the lands around it. Such is the cost of miracles. Was that monster? A beloved child. Now I understand the dismay he must have felt seeing his creations grow strange. That is my Errol, a guardian and companion I created to assist our efforts. She was bound to the tower and lost her mind when the devastation occurred. I grieve for her, but my heart still soars to see her wings in flight. I see. What's the lens? It is the first. The first true device he ever made, and from it a wellspring of all the miracles come forth. Yes, food soon. What is it truly? What does it do? It is indeed a lens, or perhaps a simpler metaphor, a window. The slightest window to another place, another time. We cannot step through, not yet, but one can peer. Peer through and see the strange, inconceivable landscape. The towers, the sheer edges, the metallic, rumbling beast shifted, and the moving clockwork. From there, he stole inspiration. He learned how to use the flux, how to simulate what he had seen, how to change the world. I have peered through it myself. The lens is clouded, dirty, and that world beyond is dark and dreadful. In his time, Jonas said it shone like gemstones. Okay. Hence temporal gears being shiny, I guess. Why was this worth my struggles? We require information, you and I. I know more than you. Do you? Perhaps, but not enough. Of all the knowledge I have gathered over these centuries, one thing haunts me the most. Our enemy is not finished. It comes for us again, comes to eat the rest of me in the dream we've realized. The rot, my friend. The rot returns. And these paltry survivors are not prepared. Even if they were, I suspect our past endeavor could not and should not be replicated. What do you intend to do with it? I've theorized and researched much in this dark hovel of mine. With the lens, we might put such science into action. There is still more work to be done before it is ready, but I intend to reach beyond where even Jonas gazed. And when the time comes, I will need your help again. Your unique biology, or perhaps lack thereof. That's like the 4th time you've said that. Will prove vital to our efforts, I think. I think I understand. So what happens now? I need some time to figure out how to integrate the lens here. It shouldn't take more than a decade or two. Okay, I'll be back. Alright. I'm gonna pick that option. Alright, maybe less, we'll see. Natural philosophy is a delicate process. You know, but you'd be surprised how much work goes into making new bits and bobs, let alone maintaining the old ones. Okay, that's all. Wow, that was just one. I've traveled far, do you have food? And I don't need that. You have monsters here, and yet they do not attack you. How is that possible? Monsters. Ah, you must mean Charlemagne and the other automatons. Don't worry, they're harmless. What's the worst they could do? Crush my frail bones into powder? I may have damaged Charlemagne. No, I didn't. You what? He'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Tougher than he looks. Okay, but what's the other? I will trust you on that. Okay. What have you got to trade? Oh boy. I can buy strange gadgets, which is just unusable clutter. Okay. I'd like a reward for my work. The gratitude of an old friend isn't enough, I see. Very well, help yourself to the chest in my vault behind the iron door. There's something else for your efforts. Plans for your very own translocator. And a component that will pair directly to the translocator here might save you a trip next time. Perhaps you've tried throwing yourself into one of the translocators out in the wilds. Given your new self, you should be much less likely to hemorrhage, melt, combust, split, scream, or any of the other issues that affected those who tried it back in our time. That being said, you'll have to give it some time after translocating. I modified Jonas's work to allow for easy pairing over a great distance, but it needs more time to recover. Okay. Well, interesting. Neato. I get loot now. Customized translocator schematic, which lets you make the rickety translocator, which needs lead plates, electrum plates, tarnished brass support beam, or a wood support beam, copper nickel rod. Yeah, that's where the nickel comes from. Aluminal divergence manifold. Wow. I just have lots of those laying around. Steel or meteoric iron nails and strips, 2 temporal gears. Honestly, this isn't terrible. Iron works too. Electrum plating is gonna be tough because I do not have silver and gold to make that. You got all this stuff, my dude? Ground storage. Strange device in Zoolite? What's Zoolite? I cannot build or destroy here. Okay, well. Chest. What have you got? Blue leather, clay figurine, silver bits, bracelet, lightning rod. Hey, Seraph painting. I want. Give. I also want Dave painting. Sturdy leather backpack. Hell yeah. We'll just be doing that real quick. Storage vessel. Carpet. Green leather. Prince fur. I could be Harry. Give. You can't quick transfer. Alright. Ornate gold spear. Neat. That's just cool. I'll take it. Brown cloth, fine table, white leather. So I guess we take the leather, the silver, forlorn hope shoes. Wow, not shoes. What is a shoe? Gold and silver. Okay, enough to probably make electrum a bit anyway. Butterfly pin, turquoise carpet, planter. I kind of like these figurines. I'm like out of space now. Brown cloth. Oh, divergence manifold I have. When did I get that? You can have dirt, my friend. Since we're such good pals and all, I am more than happy giving you sticks and dirt in return. I bet I can't take that. No. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, wait. Shears. Golden shears, silver spear, obsidian axe, silver falx. I can't take that. What do you mean? I can take from his chest. Well, then I'm taking my sticks and dirt back. Those are mine. I love how you can be like, I damaged Charlemagne. He's like, you what? He'll be fine. Charlemagne, He wants in. Let him in. Look at little buddy. He wanted in. There you go, buddy. You can be in there. Okay, so it'll take time. Am I done with the story now? Like, done with what's in the game at the moment. Also, where the heck did he go? Oh, yeah, that's how I sleep too. I just kind of stand. I'm gonna go talk to the villagers, I guess. That's all for the story, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. That's why I was pressing on so hard to do the devastation. I had heard that... Oh, don't I have an ore? I do. I honestly don't need to steal from the guy. I had heard that story-wise, the devastation was pretty much it. But I wasn't sure how much there was. So I'm going to go to the village again, and I'm going to talk to Gerhardt, see what he says, and talk to the other people, see what they say. I'm going to guess they don't have much to say. Because there's just not much in the game at the moment. Which I am a-okay with the story kind of ending there. Like, am I intrigued? Yes. Am I done with this world? Also yes. 500 hours. The translocator is cool. But I do not want to go farm Coppernickel and like try to make this translocator or the night vision mask or any of that stuff myself. I'm pretty content right now at just being right there. So sometimes you have a bad back day and just sleep standing. But yeah, 500 hours and the no map. Oh my god, my sound is gone too. Tobias ruined my sound. I'm not done streaming. I just gotta fix my sound. 479 hours. And this is the no map challenge attempt number 4. So I had a good probably 40 or 50 hours with no map before this. Hey, I didn't steal his stuff. He said I could have it. And I don't think he was anticipating just how much of a loot goblin I am. I even took his clay figurine, which was probably his childhood toy or something, and was like, mine. I want the clay figurine. And that was kind of my thought, Dog Boy, was that, like, I knew I had to be close, and so it was like, I don't know how much is left, if there's another part after this, but I promised Demon of Cream that I would play Outward on stream, and there was another person on YouTube that I said I would try to stream some Ark Survival Evolved, well, actually Ark Survival Ascended. I'll probably stream those, because those will be fun to stream. But I'm definitely going to play Subnautica 2 before I do that, because it's brand new. But that's the thing. So I'm going to do Vintage Story challenges for YouTube. I'm going to do some Subnautica and stuff for YouTube. Also going to stream some of that. Gonna do Outward on stream. Gonna probably do some Ark or Ark challenges at some point. But yeah, I got a lot of ideas I have in mind, and I love Vintage Story. But I think it might be time to stream Vintage Story challenges, maybe. Although I do kind of want to finish the Ocean Challenge, so maybe Monday, since it's only a couple days away. Maybe I won't be done with the ocean challenge since I'm only like 20 out of 48 hours in. But maybe I'll stream some of that. I will have to adjust my stream versus recording setup because I just changed my stream setup to be this and not miniaturized like it was before, where it was showing the chat and everything. So I kind of have to change it back if I'm going to record and do YouTube. Oh God, no, bad souffle. Up. But I'll have to switch that back if that's what I want to do, because the footage has to look good and clean and can't be, you have my face in the corner of it the entire time. It looks better when there is no face there. But oh, number 4, dang. Yeah, no map challenge. So the 480 hours of game I have in this world is how I learned to play Vintage Story, basically, other than doing some co-op with friends. But everything I've learned about steel making, about getting the elk, all the story stuff, you know, like traversing the land, things about, you know, mining and prospecting. I learned all of that in this world. This was the world that I learned Vintage Story on, and that is forever immortalized amongst many other people. You got to see what it was like. Not that everybody was here for the whole time, because pretty much nobody is. But you got to see me grow and develop and learn things. And also see this really cool basalt ruin that I really want, because it looks like a cathedral that sank. I love ruins like this. I'm not going to take too much time to look at that. But yeah, this was my first world other than my challenge worlds and stuff. But I decided when I was making this world, when I was doing No Map Challenge, that I wanted to play through the story, because at the time, so the backstory, I probably talked about it many times before, but just to recap, since it's kind of the end of this world, I started this world because my friends dropped out on Vintage Story. They just didn't feel like playing and didn't keep playing and switched to other games and kind of left it behind. But I wasn't done. So I started this world and started the No Map Challenge, and this is the world that succeeded. Took many attempts for me to get to this point. Well, not many, but 4 attempts to get to this point, but God, it's been fun. And honestly, No Map is a very fun way to play this game. Now, on other playthroughs, I probably will play with mods, like other casual playthroughs. Challenge playthroughs for the time being will still be vanilla, but I will probably play with mods. I will probably do things like, you know, either get bed spawn or set my spawn location instead of dealing with the temporal gear thing. I like the temporal gears, but I wish there was a permanent spawn location upgrade. God, I put all this work into this base just to be done, basically. It's kind of crazy. But, you know, it's time. It's honestly time. I've developed a lot of stuff. I can copy this world or save it for later if I want, but, you know, 1.22 is out, and things have changed with it, and a lot of my world is stuck in old-timey 1.21 and 1.20. So it's time to move on, I think. I'm not done, but I'm kind of done with this world. And that's after migrating everything over here. Oh well. It's a bittersweet moment. But I might not be done for good yet. I will probably play a little bit more. I don't know if I'm going to stream it, though. This will be a nice casual. Maybe I'll turn the map on. Now that the No Map Challenge is done. Because, realistically speaking, what I'd like to do in the future is when they add more story, I would like to continue the No Map run for the story. But at that point, I will probably just think about everything I had and you know, fast forward my way to it. I will probably, you know, go to the story locations, figure out where Nydia is, go do all the stuff for the devastation, even if I have to cheat my way through, get the lens, talk to Tobias, do all that, and then probably make myself a base and go from there, you know? Probably rebuild and start on a new generated world and explore the area for no map. Because really what I want is a world refresh. I don't want a new seed, so I might, like, literally copy the seed and just try to replicate everything I have as close as possible. I don't really want a new seed. I'm fine with the seed. I just need a new world. I need a, you know, fresh traders, fresh crops, fresh everything. But that'll probably be, like, way in the future when, like, 1.25 is out or something. Who knows? Going to have to restock before the next guy comes through. A face in the corner means occasional Gracie. That is true. I do try. One thing I'm going to start doing just for fun for my YouTube videos is I do want to put Gracie in there some more. I have no storage. I like these figurines. Oh, he's so tiny. I wasn't expecting that. How tiny. Look at that. I stole his toys. Do have a storage vessel. I guess I can start throwing stuff in here for the time being. Organization comes later. Alucard painting. Turquoise carpet. This isn't really the bedroom, but I'm kind of putting things in here as if it is. Maybe... So maybe what I'll do is next week before Subnautica 2, we can just chill and we can work on the base. We can do, like, improvements and stuff to this place and make it feel all nice and homey as a wrap-up to the whole... like, challenge and everything. That's like a lamp now. It's not really a lightning rod, it's like a lamp. Maybe I can do some nice, fun, creative stuff. Low stress. Low stakes. I meant to put these in the farm downstairs and I just didn't. But maybe I'll do that. Coat rack. Yeah, it kind of does look like a coat rack. I like my new base. I wish I just... Like, the thing that wants me to keep going is... I wish this was more complete. I don't feel satisfied with the, like, exact everything that it is. This greenhouse, I was gonna improve and make it look a little bit better. You know, it's kind of like cut out in certain areas. The windmill, I didn't get to upgrade. I got all the stuff to upgrade it and just, like, didn't upgrade it. Well, I don't have all the stuff, but I spent time, like, working on the large rotor and everything so that I could have the large windmill, and just didn't get to that point. So, like, maybe next week, that's what I do. You know, I just get into that stuff and try to make it the best that I can before Subnautica comes out, which is next Thursday. And I don't normally stream Thursdays, but I'm going to be streaming Thursday for that. And then probably streaming it also on Friday. Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Eastern U.S. time. 9 Pacific, I believe is what they said. And then they said 11 Eastern, which I thought Pacific would be 8. So maybe it's 8 Pacific. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know, but it is a good time to wrap up tonight now that I'm done with the story. What's in this game at the moment. It is a little after my scheduled time streaming, but I don't mind. But I've got things to do. Everybody's been a real great chatter today. I just really enjoyed having you guys here and talking. Been really fun. We didn't gaslight any professions like we did on Wednesday, so we're gonna have to do that again for fun. We'll have a nice talkative fun stream next week. But yeah, I guess I'll leave it there. How about we go to title screen and leave it there. So thanks guys for being here. Appreciate it. Means a lot. And enjoy your weekend. Take it easy. Play Vintage Story. Do whatever you do. And before I go, I'll show Gracie. I'll try to anyway. She's kind of sleeping, but enough to get a view of her. Yeah, she's snoozing, so we'll just let her sleep. But yeah, thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate it. And see you next week. Do some base stuff, or maybe I'll stream the Ocean Challenge. Whichever one seems more fun. Bye-bye. My mom actually just got her hair done. We went to a salon yesterday. And she got highlights and a bunch of other stuff, got a small cut and everything. It was like 2.5 hours to do all that, but I didn't mind. I was there watching her. She had a great time. She hasn't had her hair done in like years. So it was really good. And I just paid for it. It was a good time. But yes. Have a good weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.